KSAC system donation tab and fill out a very short 6-question nomination form. That's dasmechanical.org. Click the 2026 HVAC system donation tab and fill out the short form. DAS Mechanical, family-owned and proudly serving our community for years. Nominate now at dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
And here's what you need to know.
The Buffalo Bills are acquiring receiver DJ Moore from the Chicago Bears along with a 5th-round pick in exchange for a 2nd-round pick. New Orleans defensive end Cameron Jordan, who spent each of his 15 NFL seasons with the Saints, will hit free agency for the first time in his career. The Pittsburgh Steelers released veteran tight end Jonnu Smith. Seattle Seahawks linebacker Drake Thomas agreed to a 2-year, $8 million deal. Receiver Gunnar Olszewski is returning to the New York Giants on a 1-year deal. Big news out of the NBA, the Boston Celtics upgraded Jason Tatum to questionable for Friday's game against Dallas. Tatum has not played this season as he recovers from a torn Achilles. And Houston Astros All-Star and Dominican Republic shortstop Jeremy Pena will miss at least the opening round of the World Baseball Classic after fracturing the tip of his right ring finger. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is Grant's Back. Join the conversation every weekday afternoon beginning at 3 p.m. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento. Hello, Sacramento. Sacktown. And welcome in
Grant Napear.
How you been? You know this guy.
It's your show.
So happy to hear you on the airwaves.
2+ decades on the radio with you.
Just the start of an incredible journey.
Now he's back on Fox Sports 104.7 FM and 890 AM.
3 to 6 every day, Fox Sports Sacramento.
The phone number?
916-779-0929.
His name? Grant Napear.
And a good afternoon, everybody. I want to start off the show with a guy that I'm thinking about right now, and my condolences and sympathy go out to one of the best in the business. He was supposed to be on with me a couple of days ago, and he texted me at night and said, I can't come on. My dad is taking a turn for the worse, and that is Kevin Harlan, whose dad, Bob Harlan, passed away today at the age of 89. Bob Harlan is in the Packers Hall of Fame, and he's the only person, Kevin's dad, Bob, the only person in NFL history to hire two different general managers that won Super Bowls with completely different rosters. That would be Ron Wolf and Ted Thompson. So my thoughts are with Kevin, and down the road, I'll get him on my show. That is the least important thing right now. And I've known Kevin. Gosh, I met Kevin Harlan back in 1988 when he was the TV voice of the expansion Minnesota Timberwolves, and he is just starting out. He was also the radio voice of the Kansas City Chiefs, and Kevin will come on and talk about this at some point, but Kevin used to, during grade school, go into the press box at Lambeau Field when it was empty and make believe that he was doing a play-by-play of NFL football. I mean, it's a fascinating story. So my thoughts with Kevin as Bob Harlan is gone at the age of 89. Some big news today in the NBA, and it has to do with the Boston Celtics. Shams Charania of ESPN coming out talking about how the Celtics will have Jason Tatum back in all likelihood on Friday. And you just wonder what this does to the East. Now, I'm also going to mention this. So the Celtics last night were absolutely embarrassed by the Charlotte Hornets. Now, if you are like a lot of people, you wouldn't be able to talk much about the Charlotte Hornets. And I get that. They beat Boston at the Garden last night, 118-89. Now, you might say, well, you know, Nate, say that happens. It's the NBA, blah, blah, blah. Do you know that the Charlotte Hornets have won 16 of 19 games? That's right. The Charlotte Hornets have won 16 of 19 games and are now over 500 at 32-31. Currently ninth in the East, but playing red-hot basketball, winners of 6 straight. 16-3. That's amazing. But what about Tatum returning to Boston, who's 41-21? How will Joe Mazzulla use him? I mean, certainly you can look at this. And by the way, they are battling the Knicks and the Cavaliers for positioning in the East. They're not going to catch Detroit. But they're 2 games up in a loss column on the Knicks, who lost at home last night to OKC by 3 in a low-scoring game. And they are 3 games up on Cleveland, who sits currently in 4th place. It certainly can only help if Jason Tatum, I don't expect him to be the Jason Tatum of last year, but this gives them a really added boost. And I'm not so sure, with a lot of games to mess with, all right? They have 20 games left, the Celtics. So you can use this as a way to acclimate and get everybody going, which they're playing well, by the way. They've won 7 of 10. This is a really good situation for the Boston Celtics, or potentially a good situation. This won't be like a Chris Webber situation where Chris demanded that he start And it was all about Chris when the Kings had the best record in the NBA on, I think it was March 3rd, and then everything went just south. It's not going to be like that because Tatum will be just fine coming off the bench. Tatum doesn't have an ego like Chris, and he will be able to fit in and do what he has to do to make sure that the Celtics prevail in the postseason. So I think this is going to be very interesting. Very interesting indeed. All right, tonight, Kings at home against New Orleans, and Troy Murphy is questionable. Also, Zion Williamson is questionable. Now, if you're planning on going to the game tonight and you find out en route to Golden One Center that Williamson's not playing, like, why would you even go to the game? Like, would you just turn around and go home? Seriously. I mean, I'm asking a very legit question. If you have tickets for the game tonight, and again, he's listed as questionable, but if you knew that Williamson was not going to play, would you go to the game? I wouldn't. But again, that's just me. So, post-game show tonight on YouTube, Kings and Pelicans, and the Kings continuing this long homestand. All right, NFL news, and it is big news, and if you're a fan of the Buffalo Bills, I think this is big-time news. Josh Allen's got to be the happiest guy in the NFL right now because he's got a new wide receiver to throw to, and that would be DJ Moore. That's right. Buffalo is going to send a second-round pick to Chicago, all right, and a fifth-round pick, according to Adam Schefter of ESPN. The Bills are going to guarantee Moore's $15.5 million, all right? He's got a base salary of, I think, just over 23. The Bills are going to guarantee $15.5 million in the 2028 season, which is important. So, you know, this trade, by the way, can't be official until the new year in the NFL begins next Wednesday. What is it, Wednesday? Next Wednesday, right? So he's going to be 29 in April, not a big deal. He gets reunited with a coach that he's very familiar with in Joe Brady, who he played with in Carolina. And I think that this is a big move for the Buffalo Bills. This was a significant need for the Bills in the offseason. And now they are getting a legitimate big-time receiver, okay, to add to what they already have. I think this is a good deal. All right, now, you could make the argument that since coming from Carolina that Moore's productivity has dropped a little bit, but I think there are a couple of reasons for that. I think a new offense, a rookie quarterback last year, new coaching staff, new offensive coordinator. So, maybe. All right? Now, I would say this. Wasn't it last year he had almost 100 catches? But again, I think this is a big move. I think this is a very good move for the Buffalo Bills. Your thoughts on that? 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Coming up on the show today, I'm very excited to have Kevin Nagle, the managing general partner of the Sacramento Republic. And so what I want to talk to Kevin about, and I hope you can really join me, he's going to be on right after Grant's Grant, is what's going on with the Republic as they get things going this weekend right here in Sacramento. But is the MLS still on the table? I want what's going on at the rail yards, okay? I want to know, the new president of the Republic. You know, does that change anything? I just wonder, okay, if things are smooth sailing, and I'm going to have Kevin on to talk about that. So that's coming up right after Grant's Rant. All right? That is coming up right after Grant's Rant. And the rail yards, right? That beautiful facility, which should be good to go by the season of 2028. That's going to be so awesome for Sacramento. So Kevin Nagle is coming up And if you have any questions that you want me to ask Kevin, hit me up on the text line. All right? Same number, 916-779-0929. Hit me up. You can send me a message. Or you can send me a message via our stream on YouTube, Fox Sports Sacramento YouTube page. So whatever works best for you. All right? Again, Saturday, Cal Expo, the Sacramento Republic in action. Boy, what a beautiful weekend of weather we have planned here. It's awesome. By the way, if you came out to Bennett's yesterday, thank you very much. It was great seeing everyone out there. My thanks to Brian Bennett for his hospitality and setting us up out there at Bennett's. And yes, by the way, Rhino, I just want to let you know, I did indeed have the Prime New York last night, medium.
Well done.
Yeah, no, it wasn't well done. It was medium.
No, I'm telling you.
I know.
Yes.
But
yeah, I got you, brother. That would be a sin to get that steak well done. Mix it in with some Brussels sprouts and the toast.
Yeah, I only went with the steak last night. I didn't have any sides.
Oh.
Yeah. Because it's such a big entree. As a matter of fact, I let another individual at the table, I let him take home like 1/3 of it because I couldn't eat it all. Now, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's really, in all honesty, and it says so on the menu, serves 1 to 2 people. It really serves 2 people.
No doubt about it.
Right. It's too much for one person.
They look like little tri-tips coming out.
Oh, my
they're
gosh.
Tender, like none other, melts in your mouth.
It is so good. So, and I had the mushroom soup for lunch yesterday. So I'm all good. I was like, wow, what a great day for me. Yeah.
It's good eats.
It is. It is good eats, no doubt. So, again, if you want to get on the show, 916-779-0929. That's 779-0929. I hate to keep on bringing this up because I talked about it on my radio show yesterday. But as I was walking out of the restaurant last night, I had an individual come up to me and say hello and said, was talking about listening to the show. And he said, hey, I don't call into your radio show, but I heard you asking about being a season ticket holder and I was going to renew or not. I heard you asking. Well, and he said, I've been a season ticket holder, he said, for 22 seasons. And he said, I'm out renewing my tickets. And I'm just like, wow, there are a lot of people that I've run into or heard from that are not renewing their season tickets. That's alarming. Let me rephrase that. That should be alarming if you are working in the Sacramento Kings business side of things. That is alarming. Now, Ryan, you have talked about this, and I have talked about this, right? This fan base is like licking their chops for anything they get excited about.
Yes. Battling for scraps.
Yes. And if they were able to get the number 1 or number 2 pick in the draft, and I don't want to say I would exclude number 3, but let's just keep it to 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that would create some excitement, and I think it would have the phones ring a little bit over at the Kings offices. Agree or disagree?
100%. Absolutely. You're going to have a group of fans that say, all right, let's get in early, right, on what this team could be, whereas you have the fans that have had tickets for this season and last season, and it's just been a disappointment in the end, that are like, you know what? I'm done. But having the first pick is also going to bring a lot of media attention on this team for better or worse, Napes.
Yep. So right now, again, I know the draft's not until June, and I know it's only March 5th. But right now it looks like AJ DeBansa is going to go 1.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of, I guess, debate about Kansas's Darren Peterson. What is interesting to me, most people that I read and hear about, they think he is the biggest star in the draft. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Most upside.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. That's a good way of saying it. Most upside. Then you've got Cam Boozer, and then you've got Caleb Wilson, who's still out for North Carolina. It appears in any particular order, that could change, but
sure.
Right now, before the tournament even begins, as we get ready for conference tournaments, Ryan, it appears that those are going to be the top 4 names in the draft.
Yeah, I don't think you might hear a little bit of guys moving up past that, or up until those 4.
Yes.
After the tournament.
Yes.
But I don't see how you go outside of those 4.
I don't think so. So to me, if you have a top 4 pick and you're Sacramento, which I'm almost sure they're going to have, you're going to have one of those 4 players on your roster.
Absolutely. And Darren Peterson's interesting because yesterday we heard from OP about how it's effortless for him to score. But I go back to he's kind of caught in the middle with his size, and OP acknowledged that, Grant. It's different getting your shot up in the league versus college.
Yeah. Well, I guess the nice thing is it's March. The ping pong balls will come out in May, and then you can figure it out before the draft in June.
I just hope this team, no, not this team, this fan base does not get a fate that is outside of those top 4 picks.
Yep.
That would be crushing.
Disaster.
Yes.
Yep. Say, Grant, super excited about the Bills signing of DJ Moore. I think Brady will, they didn't sign him. They're going to trade for him. I think Brady will utilize him as much as he can in their offense with Josh Allen. Josh finally has a true number 1 legit receiver. As you know, the Bulls definitely needed a number 1 receiver heading into this season. That's exactly right. And so when the football, by the way, next Wednesday is going to be off the charts in the NFL. Just wait what next week is going to seem like in the sports world. It is going to be NFL talk around the clock for several days. And that's with conference tournaments going on and everything else. It is going to be big time news when the new year starts. Free agency, signings, it's going to be crazy.
All right, partner. Bold prediction.
Yes.
Will Max Crosby be a Raider after next Wednesday?
Yes. But he won't be a Raider after the NFL draft.
Okay.
Correct. All right. What say you?
I think he will be a Raider till the draft, shortly before there. I think that's where that deal goes down. I don't know. There might be a team. You might get somebody that will give up 2 first-round picks just because of how impactful he is.
Boy, that's a lot to do for a 29-year-old. And again, I don't want to make him an old man. He's still outstanding. That's a lot. Depending on where the picks are.
Exactly.
Right.
Bingo.
Yep.
Spot on.
Yep. I think what's interesting about this draft in the NFL is there's no doubt who the number 1 pick's going to be. All right. Fernando Mendoza. But what's interesting is the draft gurus or the draft experts acknowledge that if you compare him to quarterbacks in the last 2 drafts that came out, he wouldn't be number 1. But again, that's their forecast. That doesn't mean he can't be good. I mean, look at Jackson Dart last year. Late first round, the Giants moved up to get him. Now, I'm not saying Jackson Dart's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but it looks like the Giants have their guy.
Yeah.
Based on what I've seen. Now, that could change. I mean, we saw Jaden Daniels with a great 1 year. This year, not so good. Injuries factored into it. We saw C.J. Stroud with Houston have a great first year. He's regressed since then. So I'm not one to just automatically assume that a rookie quarterback that plays well is going to play well the subsequent years, because I just gave you some examples of where that didn't happen. So I need a bigger sample size than that. Just like Caleb Williams was very unimpressive in his rookie year for the most part.
And he had weapons.
And then you get a quarterback coach and a head coach like Ben Johnson, an offensive mind. And you look at how well Caleb Williams played. And then I stay in that division and I look at J.J. McCarthy. Well, think about this. The Minnesota Vikings had both Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on the roster. We know what happened. Mm-hmm. Darnold just won the Super Bowl, and Daniel Jones had a tremendous season going in Indianapolis before his injury, and McCarthy's hurt all the time. At times he looks very good. At times he doesn't look good. But if you can't stay on the field, you can't help your team. So we don't really know what's going on with him, but I want to get back to Fernando Mendoza. He seems to check all of the boxes in terms of a franchise guy. Like, I look at his character, check. I look at his ability, check. I look at his makeup as a leader, check. Like, I like a lot of those things. But the NFL is such a different animal, and it's such a messed up franchise. And here's the other deal, Ryan. Let's say that they trade Max Crosby, and let's say for just to have fun, they get a number 1 and a high number 2 and some other picks, right?
Yeah.
In the NFL, again, you got Gentry last year at running back, right?
Yep.
Ashton Genty. You have, if you hit on the quarterback, that's if you hit on the quarterback, and you draft well with the other picks. In the NFL, it really doesn't take that long to go from really, really bad to pretty good. It happens overnight. Look at some teams this year. We've seen it. We see it every year.
Look, we talk about building a team from the inside out, meaning the trenches, getting the line. If you have Fernando Mendoza and you have Ashton Genty, you've got two what I think are very good pieces in your backfield. So if I'm the Raiders, I'm not as concerned about filling out the edges. It's about protecting.
I agree.
Those two. And the best friend of Fernando Mendoza is going to be the running game. And hopefully Colton Miller can stay healthy this season. And you've got to beef that up because he had much of that going at Indiana. Think about how much of that running game figured into those late game passes in the play action. But it will be interesting because he checks the boxes, but I wonder about his personality. I love it. He's just true and true. Well, you get what you get, but how does that mix with Vegas and that fan base?
Fans want winning football.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about a person's, whether his character fits in with the quote unquote image of the Raider fan. I don't give a damn about that. I care about whether he can win football games.
Yeah.
Because Raider fans wouldn't care if Mary Poppins is the quarterback if she's winning football games.
Mary Poppins. There you go.
You know who Mary Poppins was?
Yeah, she had like an umbrella and she was in some movie.
Yes, she's very famous back in my day growing up as a kid. But again, they don't care. If they win, they don't care.
Yeah. He's got a touch of...
Rich Gannon didn't fit the quote-unquote Raiders mold of what you're talking about, that image, and he was the MVP of the league.
Yeah, it's a great point. It's a great point.
So I'm one that always likes to stay tuned and see what happens. Speaking of stay tuned for Kevin Nagle. He is going to be coming on right at 5:02 or 5:03 after my rant. DAS Mechanical. It was great to have Nick Delancey, the owner, on my show yesterday talking about their donation. You or someone else or a veteran, you can nominate by going to dasmechanical.org. Just click on the tab, the 2026 HVAC donation. Fill out a quick form and nominate an individual for a free heating or air conditioning unit with installation. That's right. You heard me correct. dasmechanical.org, and they will be donating with installation a free heating or air conditioning unit. dasmechanical.org and DAS for all of your HVAC needs. Serving Sacramento and Placer counties. Family owned. They are awesome. Make sure if you ever need HVAC help, keep in mind DAS Mechanical, dasmechanical.org. When we come back, phone calls, text messages, 916-779-0929 on this Thursday edition of the Grant Napear Show.
We are
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrud Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrud's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrud's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrud's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrud's, locally owned for more than 30 years. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrud's, G-U-B-R-U-D-S, Gabrud's.com.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Can we please get Myles Garrett a chauffeur? Is that asking too much? You know I'm going to rant on him at 5 o'clock, Ryan, so you don't even have to come up with my ideas. I don't want to give away my total rant, but give me a freaking break. 9 speeding tickets since 2017. And apparently on Tuesday, the cop gave him a break, cited him for only going 94 in a 70 instead of over 100, which would have been mandatory court. Why are you giving him a break? Give somebody else a break. Don't give a guy that's a multimillionaire who's got 8 previous speeding tickets, including rolling his car over and injuring himself, and on many occasions going over 100. That's not the guy that should get a break. All right? Give a break to somebody else. He doesn't deserve a break. Why? Because he plays for the Browns? Seriously? And then I read in the police report he's cooperative. Why wouldn't he be cooperative? Not a big deal to him. He pays the fine. His insurance goes up. He doesn't care. I have a solution to this. How about suspend his license? Right? I got a perfect solution.
So I was just looking at that. Ohio is on a point system.
Yes, they are.
So I wonder if he has tickets across different states.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that question. That's a very good question. I don't know that. I would think 9 citations for speeding since 2017 in a 9-year period, okay? But already this year, well, I shouldn't say this year. In August, he was cited for going 100 miles per hour in a 60. Last time I checked, that's 40 miles per hour over the limit.
And that's 4 points in Ohio. It takes 12 to earn yourself.
Over what period of time?
2 years.
Okay. Well, in 2022, he was cited for speeding when he rolled his car, flipped his car, and injured himself. How many points is that? Now, did the car end up on the roof or on the side? I don't know if that's like a takedown in wrestling. Like, so, I mean, how many points is that, you know?
You're killing me.
Well, I mean, come on now. I mean, I'm just, is that 2 points for a takedown in wrestling? What do you get for that?
Yeah, if it lands perfectly on the side, you get 1.5 points because the tow truck doesn't have to do as much work.
What happens if you roll your golf cart in Ohio? Is that a point or 2 or no?
Good question.
I mean, seriously, what's the deal with this guy?
I mean,
come on. It's one thing to be speeding, but how many times has he been cited for going triple digits?
It's
enough
crazy.
Already.
Yeah, you know what? This is what I would do. I would monetize it if I'm him. Start the Myles Garrett Traffic School.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Well, you better have better instructors than him if he's going to be doing it.
Well, he'd be attending all the time.
No, he would be an example of why you shouldn't drive over 100 miles an hour and show the picture of his wrecked vehicle from 2022 on the side of the road.
It actually could just be a subject study of his driving record.
Yeah.
It's all what not to do.
Yeah. Unbelievable, huh? Wow.
What's next?
You know, if you want to go 100, here's what I would suggest. Go on I-80, like in Wyoming, where the speed limit's 80, and there are long stretches of the road where nobody's on it. Drive 100 there, all right? Don't drive 100 in a 60 around Cleveland.
Yeah, look, we've all been in that spot. Like if you're driving to LA and you're in between here and Kettleman City, like the new cars, you don't feel like you're going as fast.
What's the speed limit on that stretch? 75?
I think it's 70.
Okay, well, you know, on I-80, there are many stretches where the actual speed limit's 80.
Yeah, I drove through it in Utah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
And a lot of times there's not a lot of vehicles on the road.
Nope. But see, that's where I wonder if you are just a couple of miles per hour over, if they're going to hammer you.
No, but I think you got to be within 5 miles per hour of 80 before you get pulled over.
Wow, they're generous then, because they're already giving you 80. Right?
Well, they're not giving you anything. The police don't make the speed limits. It's not done by the police department, so they're not giving you anything. But in terms of making money, I don't think that would be a very expensive citation if you get pulled over for going 83 and an 80.
Yeah, it's still, well, I mean, speeding.
It's 3 miles per hour over the limit. That's how they do it.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's not like you have a range, right? Like Myles Garrett. You're going to get a bigger fine if you're 30 miles, 40 miles over the speed limit. But yeah.
What about a jet airplane? They're okay to go over the normal speed, or is that, what do you think about that?
You're the aviation specialist.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're going from west to east, you're going to go a lot faster than you're going from east to west. That's for sure.
I don't think there's speed limits on the planes.
No,
right?
I don't. I would think not.
Yeah.
No, I would think not. But yeah, if you're going to go in the right direction and you got the jet stream going, then yeah, you're all good. You're all good.
Scott Pollard on the Concorde.
Yeah, well, Scott Pollard on the Concorde. Now that's that's completely different because you're going, the speed of sound.
That's insane.
You're breaking the sound barrier. You have to go very high. That's very high in the sky and you can only go the speed of sound over the ocean. You can't go over that on land because of the sonic booms.
Interesting. You know what's saving a lot of people's bacon these days with traffic infractions is having a dash cam.
Yes, that's
in their
correct.
car.
Yes.
I just saw a guy
that's very true. I'm glad you brought that up.
The police officer pulled him over and he's like, hey, the reason I stopped you was you weren't wearing your seatbelt. He's like, I've had my seatbelt on the whole time. Here's the camera footage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's actually a smart idea.
Yeah.
Saves your insurance too if you get in an accident.
All right.
And it's not your fault.
So just to give you an idea of what you were talking about, right? Like, you talk about the difference in flying at a certain speed at a certain direction, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking right now. There's a flight en route from Hong Kong to San Francisco going 522 knots. I don't know what that translates into miles per hour. The plane going the other direction is going 444 knots. So it's an 80 knot difference. How much is that? What's 80 knots in terms of MPH?
Looking right now.
Okay.
I got a text message from my dad.
Yeah, your dad would know this.
Yeah, he said there actually is a speed limit domestically for the airplane.
Yeah, domestically, but not over the ocean internationally.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is 80 knots to miles per hour?
Looking right now.
Okay.
It is, drum roll please.
Yeah.
92 miles per hour.
All right, so we rounded off to 100 miles per hour. So it's 100 miles per hour faster going west to east over the Pacific Ocean than it is east to west, which on a 15-hour flight, because I always study this stuff, is the difference of 3 hours.
It's pretty good.
Now think about that, right? That's pretty amazing.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, a 3-hour difference based on the direction you're going from the same two cities.
Not going to argue. Less time on the plane, unless you're in the residence.
No ticket, right? You're not in the residence now. There are no residence planes flying anywhere in the world. or the lounge at Emirates because there are no flights until at least March 7th in the United Arab Emirates.
Wow.
Unless it's a cargo plane. I did see that Air Dubai had a couple of flights today, which I was shocked by. I got to tell you, and I mean this, and now we're serious because, this is my travel segment.
Right.
If you were in that region of the world, as much as you would probably like to leave, if there were a few flights leaving, how nervous would you be taxiing out to that runway, taking off, and being in that airspace for the time that it takes to get out of that airspace? That would be nerve-wracking to me. I mean, I don't ever get nervous when I fly, and I really mean that. I've never once been nervous when I fly or take off or anything. Can you imagine that, though? I'm not going to. I'll be very serious with you. That would make me very, very nervous. That would make me very nervous.
Yeah. Do you think there's any way that airspace could be a little more secure than you think?
I take that back. Now they have opened up the airport in Dubai. I'm looking at the planes, and there's quite a bit going in and out of Dubai right now. So that airport is currently operational, and yep, I'm looking at it right now. Not a lot, but there are some flights. There are some flights. You know what? That's good. I like to see that. And I'm looking at Abu Dhabi, and that airport is open too.
There you go.
Not a lot, but it's open.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know they started chartering
That's
some
correct.
people out yesterday.
I guarantee all of
Americans.
these flights are packed. Like the Airbus A380 that just took off from Dubai 22 minutes ago, an Airbus A380. It's at 23,600 feet currently. Took off 20 minutes ago. All right?
Yeah.
That plane is packed. I guarantee you that plane doesn't have one empty seat on it.
I wonder how hard it was to get on that plane.
Dubai to JFK, Airbus A380. Took off 26 minutes ago. It's at 31,000 feet. I guarantee you there's not one seat open on that airplane.
Not a
guarantee
chance.
it.
You don't care where you're at on the plane.
I would sit in the bathroom.
Right.
I don't care. First of all, the bathrooms on Emirates are beautiful. Give me a seat in the bathroom. I don't care.
Exactly.
Okay? Hey, I'm not kidding you. I'm like, first time I was on an Emirates Airbus A380, oh my God, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. All right, enough of that. We'll get back to, I want to get your take on some things going on with the Kings, and that's coming up next right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
All right, Kings fans, quick timeout with your guy Rhino from the Grant Napear Show. Like me, if you're already watching every Reno screen every month 3, you might as well make it more interesting with Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports site in America, and it's simple. You pick 2 to 6 players and choose whether they'll go more or less on their stat line. That's it. No salary caps, no revolving lineups. Tonight, maybe it's DeMar DeRozan. Points, more. Maybe it's Dylan Cardwell. Rebounds, also more. Maybe you fade somebody on the other side, like me. Pro football, hoops, elite college action. The action never stops with Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code RHINO50 to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code RHINO, RYNO 50 to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
There's a great American pastime that the entire family can enjoy together, located right outside of Sacramento. The Golden State Shooting Center welcomes you. The Golden State Shooting Center is an 80-acre clay target shooting facility. It's the home of numerous youth sport shooting teams from the region. Over 1,000 high school students from Northern California are on sports shooting teams, and 10 of the Western United States' top shooting teams train at Golden State Shooting Center. New members are being accepted now. For details, visit goldenstateshootingcenter.com.
Investors, keep listening to learn how to get your free gold report. A currency crisis is upon us. The U.S. dollar has been the world's reserve currency for over 50 years, but that is changing. It's time to protect your retirement. Decades of reckless borrowing and spending have critically weakened the dollar. The U.S. has become the world's biggest debtor with over $35 trillion in debt. Plus, the dollar's become weaponized. Countries are dumping it. Investors who wait until it's too late could lose big. There is one safe haven: gold. Diversify your portfolio with a physical asset they can't take away. Call the Reagan Gold Group right now and ask for your free gold guide. Here's our number:
800-941-4184. 800-941-4184. That's 800-941-4184.
Out here in the middle of all these acres, it can feel like you're the only person on earth. And sometimes that's how it feels when you're going through tough times. Trouble sleeping, your mind racing. So what do? We get help. There are people in our community who are here for us. Sometimes just talking to someone can make all the difference in the world. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Before we get to the NBA real quickly from the 916, do I have any recommendations for a tall person who wants to be comfortable while on a flight, especially on a long flight on a Boeing 737? Well, comfortable may be a little stretch, but yes, just pay extra for an emergency row seat. That makes all the difference in the world. Pay a little extra. It's worth it, especially on a long flight. I do it all the time if I'm on a long flight. It makes a big difference. All right, so I want to talk Kings, but I want to talk the rest of the NBA. So this week, well, all weeks, but I like to listen to a variety of sports talk radio when I'm in the car. A national. I never listen to local. I'm always listening to national. And most of the week, I would say 85% to 90% of the time, it's been NFL. Today, it was very interesting because almost every show that I was on, every network, they were talking to the NBA, but they were only talking about one game. They were only talking about the game in New York with the Knicks and the Thunder. And it's just amazing to me how New York moves the needle when it comes to the NBA, right? Like, I mean, everyone was talking about this game. And it was interesting to hear so many people put a positive spin on the Knicks who lost the game because, you know, in the first half, the Knicks only scored 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
And they made it 3 at the buzzer. So they're down 50-40, Ryan, at the break. And then the Knicks score 60 in the second half, 40 in the third, and 20 in the fourth. And so I was going back and I'm looking at the game and I'm like, well, why did that happen? Well, Isaiah Hartenstein got hurt and only played 17 minutes. And then in the second half, a very valuable reserve got hurt in Alex Caruso. And he only played 12 minutes. So I understand that the New York media blows things out of proportion, and a lot of these national shows are based in that side of the country, and so on and so forth. But the Knicks, for whatever reason, when they're even remotely good, and last year they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, they just dominate the NBA news, Ryan. It's like, I mean, you would have thought that this game they were talking about, and again, it wasn't just one national show, it was several, that this was like, you know, game 5 of the NBA Finals or something.
Well, that's what they're selling it as, is a finals preview, possibly. And with New York, of course, they always get that attention. The NBA is better when New York is better, but it's championship or bust. So
Yep.
how is that not one of the more intriguing stories to follow, the ups and downs? And it seems like this team in New York, Grant, is still susceptible to those droughts that Mike Brown
Absolutely.
teams go through. And that feels like a system thing at times, not necessarily a players thing, because the Knicks were pretty consistent last year with their scoring.
Yeah, no question about that. I think that's spot on. We'll get to the Kings and the Pelicans in a moment. They play tonight at a normal time of 7 o'clock. The Mavericks are in Orlando. The Jazz are at Washington. The Heat play the Nets. Boy, there are a lot of horrible games tonight. Look at this. I mean, are anyone going to those 3 games? Magic hosting the Mavs, the Wizards hosting the Jazz. There might be 5 people at that game. The Nets are at the Heat. Who cares? You know, spend your time outside on South Beach. Go to Smith and Walensky's. Get yourself a good steak outside. Watch the ships go by. The Rockets are at home to the Warriors. The Raptors are in Minnesota. I could see that being a good game. And the marquee game tonight is the Pistons at the Spurs.
Yep.
I mean, that is the marquee game. The Bulls are at the Suns. Bad game. Lakers and Nuggets, potentially good game. And then who cares, the Pelicans and the Kings. But that Pistons-Spurs game is intriguing to me, Ryan. That's the one intriguing game that's on the board tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Pistons lost to the Spurs at home most recently.
Yeah, they didn't have
matched
Isaiah
up.
Stewart in that game. So, factor that in a little bit.
It's a great point. And they are a team that does have a little bit of that size that can mess with Wemby. They didn't do it so much in that first game because of what you said, but they were trying to, and teams that have been successful with Wemby, fronting him is the important thing to do there. But I'm looking at the Lakers and the Nuggets because to me that feels like a realistic playoff matchup that we could see down the road if the Lakers are able to still kind of hang on to that 6th seed and push off Phoenix.
All right, Kings tonight at home against the Pelicans as they continue this long stretch of home games in September. And Sacramento, we know, with a dismal record. The Pelicans, we don't know about Murphy and Williamson, the latest, correct? The official word was questionable. Is that right?
Still questionable per the latest report.
All right. So we're talking about a Pelicans team that, they've got a couple of real nice rookies on their team.
Yes. Jeremiah Fears and also
Queen.
Derek Queen. Thank you.
Yep.
They're athletic, Grant. One thing, the Pelicans' record to me is not indicative of how they can play at times. They've given the Kings fits for almost 2 seasons now. And one guy to watch out for, Sadiq Bey, has been playing really good basketball, averaging 18 on the season. But everything changes when Zion Williamson's on the court. The Kings have never had an answer. He looks like a bowling ball going down a greased alley.
It looks like Murphy's going to play. It looks like Zion Williamson is questionable. So we'll see. If Zion Williamson doesn't play and you go into the game tonight, that's a bummer. You want to see him play, right?
Oh, absolutely. He's played a decent amount of the games this year. And that's why it's disappointing if he's not able to get on the court here in Sacktown. They are 8-23 on the road this season. So that might bode well for the Kings because most of their wins have come on their home court.
All right, so let's zero in on Zion Williamson, okay? And we look at, what he has done in the regular season. He's played in 46 games so far, 46 games. You okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. He's averaging on the year just under 30 minutes a game, shooting 58%. He doesn't shoot threes, not a good three-point shooter. We know that. Averages 21.5 points, 5.8 rebounds. He needs to rebound better than that, doesn't he?
Yes, he absolutely does. But you also have to remember this. He is second in the league in points in the paint. So he's making a lot of his percentage on the offensive side.
That's true.
And this is a game that you would wish or you would have liked to see Dylan Cardwell be able to play. This would have been one of those.
I would agree with you.
Yeah.
All right, and then you get to Jeremiah Fears, who was the, I believe, 7th pick in the draft. And he's having a nice season. He's averaging 13.5 points. He's averaging 3.5 rebounds. He's averaging 3 assists. And I think, and against Sacramento, he's played in the game they had. He had 20 points. He's averaging, 25 minutes a game. So he's getting a lot of work, and he's a good-looking rookie. Nothing wrong with him. I've Only watched him a few games, but I like what I see.
High basketball IQ,
Yes.
running the point for them. 6.3 assists, I believe.
Yeah.
Per game, and just a guy that's quick, a guy that can distribute, but also can pull up. He does not play like Lillard, but when you look at him physically, that's the first kind of player that comes to mind.
And then you got Derek Queen. I mean, 12 points on the season, 7 rebounds, shoots 48.5% from the floor. Good free throw shooter for a rookie at 78%. Again, having a nice season.
Yeah, look, the reason they took him and moved up and sent that unprotected pick to Atlanta was they thought that he's in that Şengün, Sabonis, Jokic category where he can play inside out and also distribute. Conditioning's been a little bit of an issue, but yeah, he has been able to show that he can play and stay healthy. And look, we know how teams shoot from the outside against the Kings, and with Fears running the point and Sadiq Bey out there as well, it could turn into a little bit of an issue if that penetration gets into the paint like it usually does, because he will be waiting there in the corner at that dunker position.
Somebody wants me to ask Kevin if there's going to be a strike, if there's any progress. I'm not aware of anything going on with that. Have you heard anything about that?
Say that again.
This individual on the text line says, please ask Kevin if there's going to be a strike and if there's any progress.
I've heard nothing about it.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
My thoughts on Mike Brown calling out SGA. He didn't really call him out. He just was trying to make a point to the officials that if they meet again, that he's getting away with murder. But a lot of coaches have done that.
Could Dorian have pulled off SGA's attire last night?
No. I mean, it's enough is enough, okay? I mean, seriously, him walking into the Garden with that coat on, is that really necessary?
Did you see his post-game interview?
No.
You did not?
I did not. I didn't watch that.
All right.
He had it on?
Why? He had more than that on. You're not going to believe this when I send this
trust
to you.
me, I'll believe everything. By the way, I like the previous video you sent me. That's a good job right there.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
4A, A380. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, yeah.
Here you go. This
All right.
is so good.
So that's SGA's post-game press conference. Oh, my gosh. You know what? Honestly, it's embarrassing. No, it's not even funny. It's embarrassing. Is that really real or is it AI?
100% real.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I mean, that's embarrassing. There's just no other way to say it. It's embarrassing. And SGA is a class act. He's a family man. He's an ambassador for the league. I mean, I don't even really like criticizing the guy because he's so good. But I mean, that's embarrassing. Come on. No, really, it's embarrassing. There's no other way to say it. It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, it looks nice and comfy. Looks like one of those, what do they call them? Snuggies?
A Snuggie?
Isn't that what it's called? Snuggie?
Yeah. Well, it's embarrassing to me. That's what I would tell you.
I thought of Wizard of Oz when I saw that.
The Wizard of Oz?
The lion.
The
man.
lion?
Yeah.
The lion looks a lot better than that. Man, that's brutal. Come on. Give me a break. Wow. And again, I have a real problem criticizing anything an SGA does because the guy's so good and he conducts himself well and everything. But I mean, give me a break. Really? Can we do better than that, please? Oh, by the way, Rhino, a little update last night. You ready for this? Remember when I said that I'm jinxing the Vegas Golden Knights after having George on. They lose to Washington by a goal. They got shut out by Pittsburgh 5-0. And at the end of 2 last night, they're down 3-1. They light the lamp twice in the third, and they win it in overtime to get on the plane and fly home for a homestand. So they get off the schneid. So I said, Georgie, that may be the most important 25 minutes your team plays all year. He goes, yeah, I don't disagree with that. I said, Olympic hangover? He said, yeah. Said, we had 9 guys playing in the Olympics and 5 in a gold medal game. So, yeah, I got it.
There you go. Not on you. Good job.
Absolutely. So I didn't want to take the responsibility for the Vegas Golden Knights getting through a bad stretch there. All right, hour 2 straight ahead. Kevin Nagle in hour 3 right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you. With literally acres of new and Ford-certified pre-owned vehicles on site, you can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrude Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrude's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrude's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrude's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrude's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabruds. Gubruds. Gabruds.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. 800-598-0539. That's 800-598-0539.
If you've been waiting to buy a home, then you must be prepared to act soon for what's about to happen in the real estate market. The expected Fed rate cuts will renew the housing market demand. Buyers, like you, will flood the market. Bidding wars will happen, homes will sell quickly. You need to get your ducks in a row, and the best way to start is with an experienced broker to represent you. Village Financial's Spencer Grimenstein is that broker. Spencer's white glove service, boutique experience, one-stop shop method makes it so easy. Spencer will navigate you through the process from start to finish. He has extensive home listings to choose from throughout Northern California. His 30-year mortgage brokering experience will get you the best rates. He also has access to private money to help you expedite getting your offer accepted and closed. And don't forget that it makes sense to call Spence. Call now to schedule a free home buying consultation. 916-805-4868. 916-805-4868. Or visit Spencer's Village Financial website at bfgloans.com.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
That's what we were taught, service before self.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
The voice of Sacramento sports is back.
Hear Grant Napear every weekday beginning at 3 right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
I want to say a big thank you to some of my listeners who brought this to my attention that I was not aware of, because they are spot on. As of today, USL championship players have authorized a strike if a new collective bargaining agreement is not reached, which could threaten the start of the season. They are asking for, or negotiating, I should say, same thing, better wages, Ryan, health insurance, and professional standards because the previous contract expired December 31st. Now, they authorized a strike last week, but the union did not call for a work stoppage. And the union and the league are using a federal mediator as the negotiations continue. So we'll see what happens here.
It's really interesting that this did not break before the start of the season, because the season's only a week away. The
Republic plays Saturday night.
They play Saturday night.
Right.
So the
Here
fact
in
that,
Sacramento.
Right. So the fact that this is just coming to the surface now is very interesting.
Key demands include increased minimum salary, $40,000 plus, standardized health insurance. So standardized health insurance, okay. Improved housing, better licensing rights. That's according to ESPN and The Athletic. Now, if a deal is not reached, the opening weekend could, the key word here is could, be affected.
It seems like the two sides, based off of the fact that they have the federal negotiator, the fact that they were this far down the road and the work stoppage just was announced, or the strike was announced, if a deal's not reached, it feels like they'll probably come together and get
They
this
have to.
done.
If they're not, they're stupid.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, they would be out of there. And I don't know enough about the league.
Yeah.
But here's what I do know. Be careful. Okay? Don't ruin a good thing. Be careful. Just like the WNBA. If the WNBA goes on strike, they should have their heads examined.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm just telling you.
100%.
They should have their heads examined.
Grant, they're asking in the WNBA for housing.
Housing?
Housing. Yes. Housing.
Wow. Housing.
That's right. So
I asked for housing when I negotiated my deal here. They said no.
I mean, you can ask for it, but I just think with the WNBA and how public and messy.
It's awful.
It just, the demands or the asks just come off as unsavory.
I don't know enough about the USL to talk as an educated person in terms of whether what they're asking for is unrealistic or not. And I don't have a good enough pulse as a non-soccer follower, okay, as it relates to all of that. But the WNBA, they're going to lose a lot of fans if they go on strike.
Arguably, they, even though are going through this, have the most momentum they've ever had.
Yep.
You can't allow that to stop. And remember, Unrivaled, the other league, is still rolling. So that would just put the ball right in that league's lap.
Yeah. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. And again, I really want to say thank you to members of the audience that brought that to my attention. I was not aware of that.
Great timing to have Kevin on.
You think?
As well.
Yeah. I was not aware of that. I had not heard anything about that, Ryan. I got to tell you, I had not heard anything about that.
Which means it's probably being handled the correct way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like the WNBA.
Well, yeah, but they don't get the USL is not exactly big news around the country. That's not something that's going to be talked about.
Yeah, but I think, correct. You're right there. But I would think the USL is profitable.
I would think so. Listen, here's what I know. I know in Sacramento it's great.
Yeah.
And I know the fans love it. The SAC Battalion, they're hardcore fans.
Yeah.
And you know what? They do a fabulous, first of all, the team is competitive almost every year. They put a really good product out there. The fans respond. It's a great place to go. I mean, you've been out there. I've been out there. I love going out there. I mean, it's a tremendous atmosphere at the Cal Expo site. They're going to have a new stadium in 2 years. There's a lot of good things, like I would say mostly good things about the Republic in this community. I don't know about other cities because I've never been to a USL game in other venues around the country. I've only been to it here. What I know is it works very well here.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Perfect. You're exactly right.
It's the sweet spot. And that's why it's really interesting when you talk about moving up to MLS, because sometimes the Republic play MLS teams in different tournaments and beat them. I feel like they have found their sweet spot with what they're doing, moving to the rail yards, the fan base, like you said, the youth programs that they're doing.
Wow. So we'll see. We'll see. Kevin Nagle, by the way, is going to be on in about 1 hour. And I will certainly bring that up with the first game, by the way, some 51 hours away. I mean, it's Thursday. All right? It's Thursday, and here we go. Let's go. Get it done. Let's go. Get on the pitch. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, 916-779-0929. Let's get to some phone calls here in hour number 2. We say hello to Dorian. Dorian, great seeing you yesterday at Bennett's. How are you?
Rhino, what's up, man? Those are always good times, man. I really enjoy the meetups. I know this is the second time that you've done it. Obviously, back in September when Jerry was around. Jerry came out. Obviously, he's sick, but yeah, it's always great to go support you, man. You know, we love you here in Sacramento. We're grateful for the radio station and Fox Sports KSAC to have you on.
Thank you.
And obviously, Rhino too. So keep doing it, man. We're always here to support you, and just keep going.
Thank you.
That's all we're asking for. Grant, you know, I think behind basketball, I think Sacramento is really a soccer community. I wish more people were aware of the Sac Republic and how fun the games are, how great of a family environment it is, how it's actually, but they've been a pretty competitive team over the last few years. You know, I'm acquaintances with Rodrigo Lopez, who was, you know, a Sac Republic star basically for the longest time. And
I think a lot of people are aware of it. Every time I go to a game, it's packed.
Totally, 100%. But I think there's still a strong subset of people that are still unaware, or not, I wouldn't say unaware, but they just don't make it a priority to actually go to the games.
Yeah, but they're the game. But you say that, but there aren't empty seats when I go to the games. Where would they sit? There's every time I go to the game, it's packed.
100%. I totally agree. And I've been to multiple Sac Republic games. I follow the team, you know, because I love soccer. Yep. But I still think there is a strong subset of this community that just hasn't gone to a game. They haven't experienced it. And I think the people that are going to Sac Republic games are ongoing fans of the Sac Republic.
I think that will change. I think that will change when the stadium gets to the rail yards and they can seat 20,000. And people are going to want to go to see the venue because it's new and shiny.
Totally.
And then they're going to go, wow, this is tremendous too. So I think all of that will fall into place. I'll ask Kevin Nagle about that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Because it's going to be a beautiful stadium. Obviously, if you've seen the renderings, I've seen the renderings.
Looks beautiful.
Sick. So
yep.
It looks beautiful, man. It looks beautiful. And I love soccer. I wish more people appreciated soccer and how beautiful of a sport is. It's obviously the most popular sport globally, you know, and obviously you have the World Cup coming up here in the summer. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But again, Sacramento is a soccer city behind it being a basketball town.
Yeah. All right. So how many matches do you go to a year?
I would say probably around a good 5.
Okay. All right.
A good 5 matches per year.
Does your girlfriend like it?
And yeah, she likes it. It's fun. It's, you know, we enjoy. You know, I see a lot of the players at the businesses here in Sacramento that I frequent. So I haven't built a lot of relationships with them, but I always say hi. You know, maybe it's a quick conversation with them. So it's pretty cool getting to know a little bit of the players too, and just kind of hanging out. But I've always loved soccer. I always appreciated soccer. My grandpa played for the Chivas. Back in the day, the Chivas is arguably Mexico's most beloved sports team of soccer. It would be like the equivalent of what the Lakers are here in basketball. So, you know, he played for the Chivas, and I've always loved soccer, and I'm a big fan of the Mexican national team. So, yeah, I love soccer, man. They're always fun.
All right, fair enough. On a scale of 1 to 10, where's your interest for the World Cup?
Oh, 10, man.
Okay.
10. Like I called a couple weeks ago. I'm still trying to get a ticket.
I know, but you're into it big time, right?
I wouldn't say I'm like into it big time, but I don't miss a Mexico match. I don't miss a Mexico match.
Okay.
Whenever they're playing, I'm always watching. I do occasionally watch the U.S. men's national team, just because some of the players on the team I really enjoy watching. Like,
so if the U.S. plays Mexico, who do you root for?
Mexico, 100%.
Okay, not even close. So, and if the U.S. were happen to beat them, then you would be really upset, right? You'd be down. It would be a bad loss.
I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be anything. I mean, I root for both teams, but I'm Latino, I'm Mexican, so I love when Mexico beats up the U.S.
Well, the reason why, by the
it's
way, the reason why I asked you that question is I had George McPhee on my show, who is Canadian.
Yeah.
He's from Guelph, Ontario, and yet he's the general manager of the Vegas Golden Knights, and he's lived in the United States most of his life. And he talked about being conflicted watching the gold medal game between the U.S. and Canada. That's why I asked you that question.
Totally, for sure. I think just because of my grandpa playing in Mexico, and both my parents are Mexican immigrants, and immigrated to the U.S. obviously, and obviously I was born here, but I just love I love Mexico and everything about Mexico, and the soccer, the sport of soccer is just such a beautiful place or sport. But Grant, I've been to hundreds of Kings games, like hundreds, probably in the thousands now since I was a kid.
Yep.
I'm a loyal Kings fan. I got a Kings tattoo, but the most. And I went to every playoff game against the Warriors here at home. But the funnest and most crazy experience game that I ever went to was when Mexico played the U.S. at the Rose Bowl in 2015, and they won 3-2. That was a World Cup qualifier game, and that was it's just incredible atmosphere of Mexicans, of just the sport that I've ever been to, sporting events. And I've been to hundreds of King games. And if anybody ever has the opportunity to go to a Mexico game, or sorry, not a Mexico game, but like a soccer match, whether it be a Soccer Republic playoff game or anything like that, I really think it'll really change your perspective on soccer and soccer fans.
Okay, so
cool.
you said something to me that really stuck with me, and I hope you don't mind me asking you this question. And I feel like I know you well enough; I can ask you anything. So, if somebody asked you about your ethnicity and your background, do you say or where you're from and everything? Do you say Mexican American?
Yes, I say I'm Mexican American, or I say I'm Latino.
Okay, you were born in the United States, correct? So
correct.
You're a U.S. citizen, correct?
Correct.
Okay, which is fine. I'm just trying to, but your heritage and your family background in just the recent generations are 100% Mexican heritage, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so even though you were born in this country, Mexico always comes first. So that when we talk, and I'm really talking about sports now. I'm not talking about like anything else, because you love sports, I love sports. Would that be true of all sports or just soccer when it comes to Mexico and the U.S.?
I would say probably. Wait, what's your question again, Grant?
My question is, you told me you were rooting for Mexico big time in the World Cup, and I said, well, who would you root for if Mexico played the United States? And you said, oh, Mexico, no problem. And that's why I'm getting into this, because I want to know the thinking here of, is that true of all sports? If the United States, like if you're watching an Olympic race, and as an example, and you have an athlete from the United States going against an athlete from Mexico, are you rooting for the athlete from Mexico? Or is it only in soccer?
I would say, just because of the soccer thing, I definitely have 100% bias with Mexico beating USA. As far as other sports, I am very proud to be Mexican, maybe because of my background and how I grew up and what my parents had to go through to get over here. So I would say that if I were to put a percentage on it, I'm 70% rooting for Mexico, 30% rooting for the USA.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that I'm not proud to be American.
Sure. No. Listen, this has nothing to do with that. Don't even go there. You don't have to go there with me. I didn't ask you about, that wasn't why I'm asking you this. I already know how you feel about this country. Don't think that that's where I'm trying to steer this question. I'm trying to keep this in a sports sense, because of it just popped in my mind based on what George said, my really good friend, being Canadian and how important hockey is to Canada, but yet he's the general manager in Vegas and lived in America since he was 18. He said I was really conflicted watching the game, and I was just wondering. So, and again, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so stop me if I am. If Mexico was eliminated early on from the World Cup and the United States was still playing, you would root for them, correct?
I would root for the U.S., of course. I would still watch, but I'd be super sad that Mexico didn't advance.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, listen, You don't have to convince me about your love for this country and everything. Don't even worry about that. That's not why I was asking you that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I wasn't thinking that either. But, there is and I'm not trying to get political here, but there is there's a group of people that I won't go there, but my generation is going to be the last generation where both parents are from Mexico. Like if I were to have kids, I was born here.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's going to be really interesting as the years progress, how, Latinos, Mexicans, I mean, you see a lot of Mexicans now, they don't really speak, a lot of the younger population, they're not really speaking Spanish anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole different conversation, But yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud of both countries. I root for both countries. And it's always nice when Mexico beats the U.S. in any sport, just because, Mexicans are proud people, but we all enjoy our sports though.
I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. It's always good hearing from you. You know how much I appreciate you. And thanks for coming out yesterday. I always appreciate your support.
No problem, man. I'll always be I'll try to be my best at every event, just supporting you. And
thank you, bud.
As we've always said, man, we want you to keep doing well. We want you to keep grinding it out. We want you to, continue having the show here in Sacramento. And you're from Sacramento, man. We love you. So we'll keep going till we can't anymore.
Take care, buddy. Talk to you later. Good conversation with Dorian right here as we move to a break. Kevin Nagle coming up after Grant's Rant. That's a little bit later in about 45 minutes right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you with literally acres of new and Ford certified pre-owned vehicles on site. You can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Homeowners, if you have an electrical project you need done, then you need the good dudes at Gabrudes. Family owned and operated for 30 years, Jay Gabrude and his team are the area's recognized experts for everything electrical, from the very basic like repairs, lighting upgrades, and whole house fans, to the biggies, panel replacements, EV stations, and backup generators. Gabrudes does it all and does it right the first time. They're actually the guys their competition recommends. Gabrudes, expert 5-star service and always transparent, honest prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Visit Gabrudes.com or call 24/7 and speak with a real live person. Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Call the good dudes at Gabrudes, G-U-B-R-U-D-S. Gabrudes.com.
Get the best. Bridgestone tires are engineered to keep your world moving, and that's what really matters. Now through March 31st, buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires and get $80 back on a Bridgestone prepaid MasterCard. Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. For the best selection in Bridgestone tires, get to Expert Tires and Brakes at 5810 Auburn Boulevard. Expert Tires and Brakes. Save big and get their 60-minute install guarantee. Expert Tires and Brakes, 5810 Auburn Boulevard. That's Expert Tires and Brakes.
Hey, I want to talk to you about Spencer with Village Financial Group. That's right. It does make sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Great to have lunch with Spence this week and check in on his business and the real estate market with rates down below 6%. And people maybe getting ready to buy a home, sell a home. Do you have a person working for you that you trust, that you know is experienced and will do a good job? That's why I love talking about Spence. You know, you talk about Village Financial Group. It's kind of like a white glove boutique experience. It's going to take you right from the start line to the finish line. And he's a financing specialist, and he has access to private money. You can also go on their website, vfgloans.com. That's vfgloans.com, and you can check out thousands of listings. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for your best interest. Well, I knew this was going to happen. Boo, that guy, by the way, is Dorian, for rooting for Mexico first. My dad was Italian, and America was always his first love after he immigrated. He rooted for Italy to do well, but never at the expense of the USA. Boo him. That's my perspective. Well, you can boo me, too. I've rooted against the USA before. I rooted against the USA women's soccer team with Megan Rapinoe. I rooted for them to lose every time they walked onto the field. I didn't have a problem with that. I wasn't going to root for her. I wasn't going to root for that team. I'm not going to root for a team that doesn't stand for the national anthem, that doesn't respect the country. So, no, I'm root for whoever you want. I mean, you should be very proud of your heritage. You know, you should be very proud of where you're from or his family and his roots. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it's being unpatriotic. That guy's one of the best people I've met since I've been in Sacramento. All right. So, like, I don't have a problem with that at all. I can't walk in his shoes. So I'm not going to try. You know, he's a proud American. He's a great person. And if he wants to see, you know, Mexico do well in the World Cup, I don't have a problem with that at all. Just because he was born as a U.S. citizen, I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. You know, just because he's rooting for Mexico in the World Cup doesn't mean he's anti-American. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. Just like what Austin Matthews went through, right? I mean, so Austin Matthews wins a gold medal for Team USA, goes to the White House, gets destroyed by a columnist in the Toronto Star. By the way, Austin Matthews is the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So what, you don't think he wants the Toronto to win a Stanley Cup because they're in Mexico? Of course he does. Like, he would love for the Canadians, okay, to have a huge parade in downtown Toronto to celebrate winning the cup. You think that he feels any different than that because he's an American? Come on. I think sometimes we get carried away with this stuff. I really do. And again, I have no problem. I told you I was rooting against that team while they were playing. I didn't have any problem. To me, that's not being unpatriotic. That's not being a bad person. I'm just like, I'm not rooting for her. I'm not rooting for the player. A lot of the players on that team, I personally feel they were an embarrassment to the country. I'm not rooting for that team. I rooted for them to lose. I really did. I rooted for them to lose every time they went onto the field. I wasn't rooting for them in the Olympics or the Women's World Cup. It was embarrassing. Or whatever the event was. Yeah, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm not going to try to change your opinion. Somebody says, Grant, do I think the F1 race or the F1 will race in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia in April? Yeah, I'm not an expert on world affairs. Obviously, if that was going to be this week or next week or the following week, as they get ready to start the season in Australia, it probably would be postponed. But, again, I'm not an expert in world affairs, and I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm a sportscaster. Okay? But based on what has already transpired in a short period of time, I would think, and again, I'm not an expert here. I'm just going based on trying to answer this question. I'm going to say yes, that they will be racing in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia in April, because as we sit here on March 5th, I project, just based on what's going on now, things to be calm. I hope I'm right. I hope I'm right. I really do. Said, I'm with you, Grant. Boo, Megan Rapinoe. Absolutely. I wasn't going to root for anything she did. She's a disgrace. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. Hope you're having a good one. Kevin Nagle is going to be coming on a little after 5 o'clock. Grant's Rant. I can't wait. Love Kevin and what he's done for Sacramento. He's all about Sacramento, Kevin Nagle. And yes, I'm well aware that he bought a team over in England, but Sacramento is where his heart is. He lives here. He's done great things for the community. I'm a big fan of his, and yes, I am a friend of his, to be transparent. But listen, look at what the Republic have done. You know, Kevin is, he's something else. I'll tell you that. All right?
So really quick,
Yes.
I did some research on the USL and the CBA that expired.
Please.
They are operating right now under a dynamic status quo. And
What does that mean?
that basically means under the past CBA,
Okay.
they can declare the dynamic status quo, which means league operations continue while the negotiations for a new CBA go on. Now that changes if the players are striking, but that is
Understand.
what they were working under.
I
up
think the
until
players,
today.
without even knowing much about the league, Ryan, I think they're out of their mind if they strike. I don't think they have the pulse of the soccer fan and this, forget the soccer fan. I don't think they have the current pulse of the sports fan in America. And I will tell you this, and I don't bring politics into the show, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're seeing what's going around the world right now, okay, and you're getting ready to celebrate a sporting event, let's call it the way it is. It's minor league, all right? Let's just call it the way it is. I'm not saying they don't have rights. I'm not saying they're not entitled to certain things. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You got to understand your place on the ladder. And you're going to strike. They're not. I'll tell you, they're not going to be a lot of people that are going to feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. I don't feel like it would be a huge deal here in Sacramento. I think the fans would still support them.
I agree. Sacramento's a very unique town. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, the rest of the league, that's where you might run into the issue. But I would have to assume, based off of some of the things that you read that the players want, these are guys, unless you're a top player in the USL, you're probably getting a job in the offseason.
Yeah, of course
or
you
you're
are.
playing
Yes.
somewhere else.
Yeah, if you're making a minimum salary of $40,000, you're darn right you're getting a job.
Exactly.
You might even be working during the season.
It's a great point.
Listen, I'm not qualified to talk that much about the USL, but I think I understand the pulse of the majority of fans. The sports fans don't want labor issues with the teams that they follow anymore. And if you even lose 5% of your fan base, that's a lot. So, I mean, you got to be careful here.
Yeah. Yeah. And you also don't want to be grouped into a time where there's multiple strikes going on, because you've got baseball that could be headed to one.
Baseball's heading to a disaster.
You have WNBA and now USL.
But I'll tell you, baseball, the way it looks right now, could be a very long period of time without baseball.
It doesn't feel like there's much of a middle ground there in baseball.
No, it does not. It does not.
A lot of money. A lot. I mean, that's what the players are going to say. You're limiting our opportunity to maximize our value. I just think once you go away from a cap, how do you put a cap in place, Grant?
I would not want to be at the negotiating table. I would not want to be Rob Manfred. I don't even know who's representing the players anymore after Tony Clark, to be honest with you.
Yeah, good point.
It's a disaster in the making. There are a lot of people that feel that you better watch baseball this year because it's not going to be around after this year for a while.
Be really bad. That would be awful.
It would be awful. They would lose.
Yeah,
it would be awful. It really would be awful. I'll tell you what else. It would be really bad for the economy here of Sacramento if you erased the third year of the A's playing here.
Are they going to have a third year?
I think they are. Where else are they going to play?
I thought Vegas was.
No,
it's not still there. Okay.
No, it's 3 years.
Okay. Yeah, that, and even if you're John Fisher in the A's, that's a disaster because now you're building a stadium and there's no play.
Well, you would think by that period of time there would be.
But even you're still building the stadium in that third year where they're still playing in Sacramento and you don't have money coming in. That's just, you know, it's bad all over.
I understand. Yeah. I got you. Well, that's what happens in work stoppages or strikes or call it whatever you want.
Do the players still get paid from the chat? Yes. The players still, baseball has guaranteed contracts.
They don't get paid if they go on strike.
No, they do not.
And they don't get paid if they're locked out.
Good point. Baseball needs a cap if players strike because of that. The heck with them. See, that's the problem that's going to happen.
The problem that's going to happen. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Please.
No. The problem is the LA Dodgers and the top elite teams and then the bottom teams. It's an unfair playing field. It's an uneven, unlevel playing field, unlike the NFL, unlike the NHL and unlike the NBA. It's just completely the haves and the have-nots. The disparity is too big.
Yeah, but the biggest contracts come out of baseball, and they're guaranteed, unlike the
I
NFL,
understand.
okay? So I think the public sentiment is going to be very, very poor towards the players
I
who
agree.
are making a lot of money and would still make a lot of money under the cap.
Agreed.
And that's what Lau's getting at. I'm with him there.
I don't disagree with that. What I would say is, if you like baseball, you better go watch as much as you can this year, because I think this thing could get very ugly. I think it could get very ugly.
Love to get Brian's take on that, as much as he could give it.
Well, they don't want to go on strike because they don't get paid after a period of time. They're protected for a period of time in the event of a lockout or a strike, but then after that, they do not get paid.
If Major League Baseball continued with quote unquote scab players and scab umpires, could the regular umpires still ump, or is that tied
they
in?
could still ump.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's a Major League Baseball sanctioned game, MLB umpires are umping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Again, 916-779-0929. 916-779-0929. It's not like you saw the players hold out when the umpires went on strike and they had scab umpires working. It's not like the players said, well, we support the umpires, we're not going to play. So there's no.
Yeah. We know how it worked out in the NFL.
Yeah,
oh,
right?
Boy.
Right?
Good if you're a Seahawks fan.
Yeah. Again, 916-779-0929. Getting the big news in the NBA today is what Sham Sharani of ESPN reported first, and that is that we're going to see Jason Tatum back probably Friday. And what will that do to Celtics? All right, so bold prediction, March 5th, 2026, are the Celtics winning the East?
No.
I'm going to say yes.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, they're second right now, and they're getting a very good player back. I think they're only going to be better by the time the playoffs begin. So, yes, I do.
All right. Fair enough. It's really interesting. I thought you nailed it in the open about this being perfect timing with the 20 games left for Jason to come back and habituate with the team. But I also think the other side of this conversation is he was the first player. Remember, he's the test study that had surgery within 18 hours of that Achilles rupture. And look at where he's at right now. Now, everybody's body's different. He chose to do an alternative treatment that was just not the Achilles alternative treatment, but an alternative pain management treatment instead of the typical pain management. So Tyrese Halliburton opted for the same quick surgery. So this might be something that could set a precedent if this works out for Jason Tatum.
The advent of medical techniques and the development of medical procedures is ever changing.
Yeah.
An Achilles injury years ago, in many cases, would be a death sentence for a professional athlete.
What about when Kobe tore his?
Right. Exactly.
That wasn't that long ago.
So it wasn't that long ago where if you tore your ACL, you had to have major reconstructive surgery with a scar that was about 10 to 12 inches long.
That's right.
Okay. And in many cases, you were never going to be what you were, and you, in many cases, would not even be able to resume your career.
Incredible.
That's the fact. Okay? If you had a torn ACL, you would have a scar going from the left side or the right side of your thigh around your kneecap, down your shin, that was about 10 to 12 inches long. And I know that. Yes, I'm not kidding you. It was like an S. Yes.
Holy.
It was not just like a little incision. Reconstructive knee surgery was like, wow. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. Yep. My girlfriend in college had it. She was a figure skater, and she tore her ACL and had to have an operation. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was blown away.
You dated a figure skater?
Yes.
Did she ever try to get you out on the ice?
Dude, I played hockey my whole life. I would destroy her on the ice.
Okay, but did you guys ever do a couples routine?
Yeah, we were skating before, but I was, you mean like pair skating?
Yeah.
No. She couldn't catch me. She's too slow for me.
Well, you don't have to be fast.
No.
When
I'm on the ice, I'm flying. I'm not doing any.
I mean, you can put on SGA's outfit.
No, the only skating that I'm doing is you got to catch me, all right? Because I'm flying. I'm not. I used to get in trouble all the time at the rink in Syosset, because I used to go every single day after school, every day, and they have the two guards, the skating guards, like to keep everybody. And I'd be like getting reprimanded all the time for going too fast.
Why am I not surprised?
I'm not kidding you. Then you get a timeout. You have to go off the ice. I'm like, come on. I'm in control. I'm not going to kill anybody. I love skating. I used to skate every single day. Every day.
See, it's so funny.
4 to 6 session, by the way, at the community ice rink in Syosset, 4 to 6 in the afternoon.
So it's so funny because out here in California, it was all about the roller skating rink. King Skate out off of, I believe it's Franklin. I grew up at. And it was the coolest thing if you got to stay for the 9 to 11 session.
Yeah.
At night. Rollerblading.
I used to love skating under the lights.
Yeah.
I used to skate, honest to goodness, in the winter every single day. Every single day. Every day.
It's a good workout.
Loved it.
Great work.
And then I played hockey. It was great. And I'm not bragging, but I was always one of the best skaters because I skated in practice every single day. One of the biggest thrills was when I had to get new hockey skates down at the Syosset Sports Shop. And I was like, wow, I'm getting new hockey skates. Wow.
That's
the Syosset,
awesome.
well, they didn't have the big retail sports shops back then.
Yeah.
It was the Syosset Sports Shop.
No, I'm with you, man. We had the Elk Grove Sports Shop. Now, yeah, that's where you went for all of your stuff.
Yep.
But getting skates is a bigger deal. I mean, you can try on a pair of shoes and get a pretty good feel, but skates?
It's different.
It's much different.
Yeah. I was able to do it.
Good job. Did you get to pick out the right pair that you wanted?
Yes. Yes.
It's the best.
Yes.
Love it.
Always the CCMs and then Bauer after that. But I started with the CCMs and then went to Bauer, and I still have my skates.
What does CCM stand for?
Look it up. I can't remember off the top of my head.
They've been doing the hockey stuff forever.
Yeah. All right. We'll come back. What kind of skates do you have, everybody? Well, we don't have skates. We live in California. I understand. I got you. I was just asking. This is Grant Napear on Fox Sports Sacramento.
We are Fox. The new year is here. A fresh opportunity to tell people about your products and services so they know who to spend their money with. Fox Sports Radio has a Mount Rushmore of sports talk talent. Patrick, Cowherd, Gottlieb, and Sacramento's own Grant Napear. And they have an audience you can take to the bank. This is Fox Sports General Manager Kurt Bagelman. Sports Talk listeners are a unique, target-rich group of consumers. They're employed, they earn six-figure incomes, 2/3 own their own homes, and they listen to the radio longer. Let me repeat that. They listen longer, so your commercial message has more opportunity to be heard. It costs nothing to learn how a good strategy and a great schedule could help your business. So call me, 916-779-0914. 916-779-0914. Radio gets results, and we are here to help. Call 916-779-0914.
Some call it overplanning. At Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort, we call it foresight. Be prepared for the next power outage with a Generac home standby generator system. When the power goes out, your Generac system kicks in, so you've always got power no matter what. Upgrade your home with a Generac home standby generator system professionally installed by the energy pros at Sierra Pacific Home and Comfort.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air, the guys in the big red trucks.
Are you SAC Alert? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
You've been saying you're going to pay better attention to your home's honeydews. Check one off your list right now by calling Gabrude Services to schedule a 12-point inspection of your home's electrical system. The safe rule of thumb is every 5 years for an inspection. If it's been 5 years or more, call Gabrude's now. A qualified technician will provide a thorough inspection of the electrical system to ensure it's safe or alert you to potential problems. At Gabrude's, electrical work is all we do. We are the area's recognized experts for anything electrical, and our number one priority is ensuring your home and family are safe. You've been saying you'll pay better attention to your home. Stop saying it. Make the call to Gabrude's. Talk with a real person and schedule your 12-point inspection today. Gabrude's, locally owned for more than 30 years. Gubruds.
Call the good dudes at Gabruds. Gubruds. Gabruds.com.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
Did you find out what CCM stands for?
Not yet.
Okay. Somebody wants to know if I played in a checking or non-checking league. Come on. I'm a contact guy. I'm all about contact. So I played all contact sports. I played football, defensive line so I could hit people and tackle, lacrosse, and hockey.
I mean, you were the mark when you played lacrosse.
Oh, yeah.
You were the scorer.
Yeah, I was. I always had the ball, and I was always, but you can still, there are times you can still make a good hit, but yes, I was getting hit more than I was hitting. Very true. When you have the ball, people come after you.
Yeah, you got to keep your head on a swivel.
Oh, I did. That's for sure. 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. I was all fine and dandy until Al Martin was guarding me in practice one day at Bowling Green, and I didn't like the way he was slashing me. And so I turned around, and I had, an attack stick is much shorter than a defensive stick, right?
No.
And well, if you're playing defense, it's a very long stick for defense, whereas on attack, it's short so you can protect your stick.
All right, that makes sense.
Okay.
All right.
So I slashed him. I turned around and I whacked him, and he was a big guy, right? Like I turned around and I slashed him as hard as I could on his back.
Ooh, on his back?
Yep. And then when I wasn't looking, he wound up with his stick and hit me in the head, and I got a concussion. I knew I got a concussion.
He hit you in the head with his stick?
Yes, without me looking in practice because I had slashed him, and I almost fell to the ground, but I didn't want him to know that he had hurt me.
Oh, my
God. And I was
gosh.
seeing stars, but I kept on playing. Because, back then you didn't realize that you had a concussion.
You gotta be kidding me.
No, I'll never forget it.
That's like Myles Garrett on Mason Rudolph.
You know what? It was just like that. Exactly right. Now, if you look at it, the size of the lacrosse stick on it for a defensive player, they call it the long stick, right?
Yeah.
Defense. And I have attack. And so, again, you have to protect the ball, and you're not. You can look it up on Google. Look at the size of the defensemen and the sticks they use. And so you can just imagine the leverage that hit me in the head with the momentum. It literally almost knocked me out.
I don't know how it didn't knock you out.
I don't either. Because, again, back then the helmets weren't that good. And I know for a fact I got a concussion from that. No doubt in my mind.
It's
no
assault.
doubt.
That's what that
Well,
is.
I slashed him first, but I was a freshman. He was a senior, and I was like, hey, I don't care who you are, man. Don't, I'm not putting up with that stuff.
Canada Cycle and Motor Company.
All right.
Founded in 1899.
CCM Super Tax ice skates. That's what I had. Super Tax. Yeah. Said, I thought I landed on the moon when I got a pair. I remember my first pair of Super Tax. It was like one of the best days of my childhood when I had Super Tax. I'm like, man, I am ready to roll. Nobody's catching me now. Yeah.
So that was the Jordan of the skates?
Yeah. Yeah. Said, Grant, a lot of NHL players played lacrosse growing up, obviously more on the East Coast and Canadian thing, but it sounds like it's getting bigger out here. It is getting bigger out here. A lot of them played box lacrosse too, which is different than field lacrosse. It's played basically on a hockey arena. And I did play box lacrosse for a while in Sacramento back, I was probably playing box lacrosse 15 years ago at an indoor soccer facility in Rancho Cordova. That's a rough game because you're playing in a bread box, and it's a very physical. It's a lot of running. It's a lot of changing of direction, and it is a lot of hitting. That was box lacrosse. That was fun. I like that. And I stopped playing when I was 50 because I was like, I'm going to kill myself out here.
Do they have the plastic that comes up on the boards too for hitting in box lacrosse?
No, yeah, they in a real league, yes. In the league that we were playing in, we were not doing that to each other. You could hit a little bit, but you couldn't run a guy into the glass like hockey. We had decided we're not going to do that.
So one of my buddies, I've got the group that I went to Wisconsin with. We're on this app where we can send messages back and forth it's like FaceTiming. But anyways, they rolled out a dodgeball league that involves a lot of the schools from the MAC. Bowling Green has a dodgeball team. Miami of Ohio. Dodgeball. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I'll have to send you the schedule.
Is that right?
Yep. I don't know if it's club.
Is that an Olympic sport?
You know what, Grant? I think that and cornhole are right up near the list or at the top of the list that could get added.
Seriously now?
Seriously.
Wow.
I'll have to find that for you.
Are you sure about that?
I don't know if it was club or if it was actually added to the university sports, but yes, there is a dodgeball league.
Really?
Yep.
All right. Would you play that? If you were younger? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Would you?
We used to have so much fun with that. We would, in fact, sometimes at basketball practice, that would be one of the things we'd get rewarded with. They'd throw out a couple balls and we'd play dodgeball. Didn't work out well.
Is that right?
Did not work out for me very well because of my size.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun.
I used to love playing dodgeball.
I mean, it was at the top of the schoolyard list for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, 916-779-0929. That's 776-09 or 779-0929. I don't want to put out the wrong message here. Okay. So here's something else I didn't know was a sport until yesterday. So, a lot of the sponsors of our radio station, I like to go out and meet them and say hello and thank them for their business.
Sure.
So yesterday, I went out to the Golden State Target Center out past Lincoln, skeet and trap shooting.
Yep.
And I've never experienced that before. I didn't know anything about it. When I say I didn't know anything about it, I've seen it before, but I've never seen it in person, right?
Yeah.
I did not realize that there are high school teams in our area and that a lot of those students go to college on scholarships for skeet and trap shooting. I had no idea that high schools have teams and they go out to this facility, okay? And this weekend, there's a big tournament at the Golden State Target Center. And I got to tell you, I had no idea. I was blown away.
I mean, there's the obvious part of that comes to mind where it's like, oh, really? But then on the back end, it makes all the sense in the world. It's Olympic sport, Grant.
Yeah.
You know what's scary is those things that shoot the skeets, those levers. I don't know if you've seen some of the different variations.
That's unbelievable.
That thing does not mess around the way that lever flies up.
Oh, boy. By the way, I did hear somebody asked if I ever heard of Gary and Paul Gate. When I was a kid in Victoria, their aunt used to babysit me. Yes, they were great. They were great lacrosse players. Okay, tell me what's going on with the prize pack. And by the way, your first day, I want to commend you. You hit a Grand Slam home run on the very first day you started doing this with your picks. Good job.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And you'll be happy to hear that we cashed out yesterday as well on Prize Picks. It's not too late to join me on America's #1 daily fantasy site. Yep, that is Prize Picks. Super simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 players, stat projections, pick from all of your favorite leagues. You can mix them up. You can actually stack the same player up to 3 times. There's early payouts as well. And it's a blast. A lot of communities that you can join within Prize Picks. Join my community. In fact, all you got to do is use my code RHINO, RYNO 50, and get $50 of free play after you play your first $5 lineup. That's download the Prize Picks app today. And again, use that code RHINO 50 to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Tonight's lineup, if you are so inclined, and remember, as Grant just said, we have got paid out 2 straight days. So Prize Picks is offering a special today on Nikola Jokic. So I am going more than 22.5 points with him. I'm going Anthony Edwards, more than 2.5 3-pointers made. And I'm going Kevin Durant, more than 1.5 3-pointers made, considering Golden State is sitting every single person out. So again, download the app, Prize Picks, use the code RHINO, RYNO 50, and get $50 in free lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
Awesome. Love it. Have you done skeeter trap shooting ever?
I've tried it. I was an awful shot.
But you got to learn.
Yeah. I did it for like a day.
Really?
Yeah, that was it. But
one day.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get it down?
Could not hit a skeet. I was still trying to.
Really?
I was still trying to figure out the recoil with the gun.
Yeah,
your shoulder.
And that's interesting. I learned so many things yesterday when I went out there that I had no idea about. And I was fascinated by it. I got to tell you, I didn't realize that there are kids out there that are learning how to do this with their parents. And then when the high school tournaments, I'm like, high school tournaments? They're like, oh, yeah, it's big. I'm like, wow. Honestly, I had no idea.
And it starts with firearm education.
They're all about safety out there. Oh, no.
That's a big plus.
It's 100%. It's all about safety. It is the number one thing. And I'm sure this is true at all of these businesses, but that is so emphasized. It is paramount, and absolutely. And it is extremely, extremely safe out there. There's no issues. But yes, that is very true. All right. Again, 916-779-0929. Kevin Nagle right after Grant's rant in a couple of moments. There are a couple of things that I could choose from on the rant today. Okay. But I already know my rant for today. Are you okay with what I'm choosing?
Yeah, I wanted to bait you towards the NCAA, but I'm fine with Myles Garrett.
I got to tell you, what is going on with name, image, and likeness in the transfer portal is enough to make you sick. It's actually enough to make you maybe not watch what's going on. It's ridiculous, is it not?
And yeah, that's enough to make you sick. But then you add on the NCAA trying to police things that are insignificant and spending revenue that comes from the sports, like to the degree of filing a 650-page
it's a joke
response to a lawsuit.
It's a joke.
Asking that Trinidad Chambliss not get a 6th year. Like, what are we talking about? How much money, the legal fees for 656
good if you're
pages.
A lawyer.
That's what I'm saying. The NCAA just spends money.
I know.
That's all they do.
It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. It really is.
Ugh.
I know. It's a joke. All right. No joke with my next guest coming up after Grant's rant. That is Kevin Nagle. Very much looking forward to having him on. Managing general partner of the Sacramento Republic. That's going to be coming on right after Grant's rant, as I said, in a couple of moments. Hope you're having a good day. 1 hour left. The Grant Napear Show, Fox Sports Sacramento.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center located in Midtown.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The LA Rams look like a finished product last season. Matthew Stafford played at an MVP level, and the offense featured 2-star pass catchers. But in their 6 losses, one weakness kept resurfacing, the secondary. LA surrendered an average of 31 points in defeat last season. Mac Jones and Sam Darnold both eclipsed 340 passing yards against them. Bryce Young and Jalen Hurts threw a combined 6 touchdowns against this defense. Sean McVay and GM Les Snead did not ignore the evidence. They traded a first-round pick and additional picks to the Chiefs for Trent McDuffie. The Rams made it clear they're operating in a win-now mode, but you're chasing the reigning Super Bowl champs in your own division. You also have to battle Kyle Shanahan's Niners twice a year as well. McDuffie changes matchups. He buys the pass rush some time. For teams already near the top, eliminating the obvious flaw will keep them on the mountaintop. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Illinois. Prostate exam. Relax. Screening starts with a simple finger-free blood test. Around 1 in 8 men in the United States will be diagnosed with prostate cancer in their lifetime and have over a 99% 5-year relative survival rate when caught at a localized or regional stage. If you're 40 or over and have a prostate, visit relaxitsabloodtest.com to see if a PSA blood test is right for you. Talk to your doctor about screening and the next steps. Sponsored by Novartis. Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of General tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan to see their General tires, test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire.
Tell your friends. Grant's back. Grant Napear is back on the Sacramento airwaves right here. KSAC 890 AM Olivehurst, K284CM 104.7 FM Sacramento.
It's time for Grant.
What's the deal with Myles Garrett and speeding? Unbelievable. Since he joined the Cleveland Browns in 2017, 9 citations, many going over 100 miles an hour. He got cited this week for going 94 in a 70, and apparently the police officer gave him a break so he wouldn't have to appear in court, so he had to just pay the fine, which was like 150 plus bucks. But I mean, in August, he got cited for going 160. In 2022, he got cited for speeding, lost control of his vehicle, went off the road and it flipped over, and he had an assortment of injuries to his shoulder and his biceps. I mean, really? I mean, are we like going to wake up one morning and read about Myles Garrett causing a huge accident on the Cleveland roadways for his stupidity of driving in triple digits? I mean, come on. Either hire a driver or do a better job. You're the reigning defensive player of the year. I mean, this is embarrassing for the Browns and the organization. I mean, embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. It drives me crazy. Like, it's just so cavalier. It's like, oh, I got all the money in the world, no problem. I'll drive as fast as I want. I don't care what my insurance is. I don't care about how much I have to pay. Not a problem. I'm just trying to drive fast because I have a beautiful, fast car, and I like going fast. And if I get pulled over, no big deal. I mean, I don't get it. I really don't. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 9 speeding citations since joining the Cleveland Browns. And again, 160 in August and 94 in a 70 the other day. And the cop gave him a break. Unfreaking believable. Really amazing. And that is my rant for today. All right, as promised, we're going to talk about the Sacramento Republic as they get the season underway this Saturday here at Cal Expo. The managing general partner, a guy that's done a phenomenal job by putting a really good product on the pitch year in, year out, is Kevin Nagle. Kevin, welcome to the show. How are you this afternoon?
Great, Grant. Thanks for having me.
Kevin, I got to ask you, some of my listeners brought to my attention, and I was totally unaware of the collective bargaining agreement going on with players in the USL and a possible work stoppage. Any areas of worry as we get ready for Saturday at Cal Expo?
Well, there's always that possibility, Grant, but we're going to try to push it all the way to the end. I mean, the contract has expired. Both sides, I presume, are negotiating in good faith.
Yep.
And we're going to continue to do that. But I think we'll know tomorrow, because there's some other USL games going around the league, and we'll see what they do there.
All right. Well, we'll stay tuned to that, and we'll hopefully have our fingers crossed so that everybody can go out and enjoy Saturday and a great season. All right. So here we are, a new season. You've had really good success with this team. How are things looking right now?
Grant, I think that it's. I don't want to jinx things. I never want to, but I think it's going to be a great season. I would say this much. I think Neil Collins, who's our head coach.
Yep.
We worked in the off season, got some really strong players to fortify what we had last year. And I think, last year might have been a little bit of a disappointment. We made the playoffs, but that's just not good enough for the Sacramento Republic. And I think this year we've really strengthened up front. We've got much larger, more physical guys. We went out and we got a couple of really high quality players from MLS, Memo Rodriguez, who played in Kansas City. And then also we got a former All-Star, a guy named Mark Anthony Kay, who was a midfielder from San Jose. And we feel really excited by those two guys and the rest of the players, which is going to look very different than it did last year.
Owners have different philosophies, and they buy teams for different reasons. They all want to make money. I do understand that, but some put a more of an emphasis on winning than others. You, Kevin, you're about winning, aren't you? I mean, yeah, you want to have the fans be entertained, but that's paramount to you, isn't it?
No, it is. I mean, look, we're going to have a sellout. I think it looks like a sellout. It might be our biggest opening day ever at home. And I'm about winning, but it's winning with the culture. And that's really, Grant, what I would say is consistency year in and year out.
Yep.
There's only one year we did not make the playoffs. And frankly, that was the year we were preparing what we thought was going to be an MLS season. So we got younger players in who were a little bit greener, but we wanted to get them ready. And as a result, that year we made a preparation over winning. But I compete to win.
I love that. Kevin Nagle, as we get ready to talk Sacramento Republic. Kevin, what are we, 2 years away from having your team at the rail yards? Can you talk about how things are going down there with the construction of the new stadium?
Yes, and it's built. I mean, we're building it. I'm really excited. We're going to build a stadium, and then we're going to add it almost immediately right afterwards. We're going to put also a hotel there as well. And it's going to change, people have heard this. It's going to change Sacramento down in the rail yards, as you know.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of other ideas where you're going to see mixed use and other events they're going to ongo at the stadium as well, which we're really excited about. But you're going to see a stadium that's going to have the ability to have football, have your favorite sport, or at least one of your favorite sports, lacrosse.
Yeah, love
rugby.
it.
It's really a whole myriad of different sports options that I think the Capitol will be able to benefit while the Republic are not playing there.
You know, it's interesting you said football because I've had a couple of people that listen to the show use our text line at 916-779-029, and they specifically wanted me to ask you about football because we keep hearing about Sacramento State and possibly building a stadium at Cal Expo, but you can play football there, right? Is that ever a possibility?
Well, I mean, we're going to have football there. It might be that you have other events, state championships for high school,
yeah,
and maybe even community college. I mean, there's certainly a lot of options, So I mean, nothing is really off the table.
Okay.
But I would say this much: the number of events that I think that we can have there once we get it up and running are going to be infinitesimal. We really, I mean, we're going to have, as you know, concerts there.
Awesome.
And much like I think the G1, which is really a gold standard, as you know, in the NBA, where it's a top 5, not just in the U.S. but around the world. We hope to do the same thing. We have a lot of activities for our community to come out and see.
Kevin, you partnered with Sky River. How has that thing changed? Has that changed things from your perspective?
Well, they're great partners of mine. I mean, it's Wilton Rancheria. Really, they're just a great, tribe, and it's their land. I mean, that was taken from them many years ago, and it's like going home. It's I've said that when you look around the U.S., I'm really happy for people like Wilton Rancheria to come back and get their land and build something as special, because they're really great people. And I really very little has changed the way we run our organization. They're great supporters, and I only see bigger things. It's really, I would say this much, to Wilton Rancheria and really Jesus and the guys that really run the top there, is that they want to be a business tribe, as well as all the other things that they do. And I'm really excited by that. I'm excited to have them as my partner, down at the arena or down at the rail yards.
Kevin, years ago, I was at the downtown press conference with Don Garber and yourself and Governor Newsom and Ron Burkle and so many other of your lead investors to announce the MLS was coming to Sacramento. We know what happened when you were right on the doorstep. Here we are in 2026, and I still get asked from time to time about what about the MLS coming to Sacramento? What do you think? Is it still a possibility?
Everything is an option, Grant. And I'll say this much. First of all, the USL will have a Premier League, which is really will compete with MLS. That is something that we've already filed for, and I think that we will be accepted because there's certain requirements that the U.S. Soccer has, as well as FIFA, that will meet all those standards when the time comes. And if MLS is a consideration, so be it. We still like MLS. I do think that USL is going to have a very interesting product because they're going to be introducing promotion and relegation. We've got 3 leagues, and that will bring the international flavor, into the U.S., which no one else has right now.
Kevin, what is it about soccer? I mean, you're a big football guy. You went to USC. You love Major League Baseball. You're a big baseball fan, but yet you buy soccer teams, and the team here in Sacramento, over in England at Huddersfield. What is it about the sport of soccer that kind of got you hooked?
Well, first of all, it's the international sport. It's the biggest. I think theoretically, cricket is, but it's the biggest sport in the world. It's the international sport. It's the beautiful game, and it's exciting. I mean, look, it's relatively young in the U.S., as you know, but you go to international markets in England. You mentioned, where I have Huddersfield Town. It is just amazing what the fan base. They're tribal. They're ravenous. They're excited about their teams, and we have that same thing here. But we don't have a 200+ year tradition, or close to 200-year tradition, of playing, soccer, or what they call football there. And I think it's really exciting sport. Look, you're going to have, as you know, you're having the World Cup come in June, and it's going to change the next generation of what soccer does in the U.S.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very exciting time. It's only going to be bigger and larger than what it is right now. Much, much so.
I'm just curious about Huddersfield and soccer in that region of the world where it's generational and so many fans live the season for soccer season. It's similar, in my opinion, to big-time college football in America. If you're in an SEC or a big-town town and you're rooting for Auburn or Alabama or LSU or Michigan or Ohio State, like people's lives revolve around those Saturday afternoons. And it's very much like that over in England. Knowing that and then experiencing it are two different things. What has that been like for you?
Well, it's been amazing. It's changed my Saturdays. I'll tell you this much, Grant. It's sort of funny. We have a game this Saturday, but unfortunately, it's being televised, I believe, on national TV in England, and so we're getting an earlier game. So I have to get up at 4:30 in the morning and watch the game. And what that really dictates for me is whether or not I'm going to be in a good mood or not such a great mood. And the problem now is, since we're now in season with the Republic, if we don't win, that makes me tell Neil Collins, I said, you guys better win. You got to salvage my weekend for me. And so I've got a little bit of what you talked about, the tribalism, that our fans in Huddersfield Town. But it's really one of those things that is, you have to experience it. And I recommend to all your callers, they don't have to really like a lot of football, but if they're in the UK and they've already been to a Republic game, and they're local, go see a game in the UK, or for that matter, Spain or France or Italy. It's all just great. It's all great football, and you will see a different side of sports. The interesting thing people say to me is they say, you guys in the US, you guys like entertainment in your sports. They want to come. They just want to see the sport, and they want to see them win. Now, we are introducing some entertainment into football in the UK, but it's not anything like what we have here. They just want to play and win.
So I'm curious. You've had such good success here in Sacramento with the Republic, but it's a different animal over there. And I'm wondering, as someone that's now experienced that for a few years, as I try to look at sports from a world perspective instead of just here in this country. So I'm really curious because I don't know a lot about it. What would be your biggest challenge in having a soccer team in that part of the world?
Well, I would say this much. I took over Huddersfield Town, 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years ago. And unfortunately, we got relegated our first year. There's not a lot that I could do, but what I did recognize is we had a lot of issues that we needed to fix. And so I really taken the first 2 years to fix those issues. Unfortunately, the fan base is a little impatient, and I understand that, but we built back our academy, which is really important from my perspective. And so I think that means we're going to be really good in the future, and we're going to be able to buy and sell and trade players using your academy. We got a great training ground. It's Premier League ready, and so it took time to build that. This year, we're competing for a playoff spot. I thought we would do better at the beginning of the season. We were viewed as having one of the three best teams, which would mean that you would get automatic promotion into the championship league, which is where, would be our next stop if you moved up.
Yeah.
And we're battling for that, but we're not doing as well as we thought. It's been a year of inconsistency play. We've won, 4 or 5 games in a row, and then we'll lose some. And it's not been that year consistent. We made a coaching change, and I'm hoping that my current coach, takes us to the promised land. But it's been frustrating, and it's been frustrating for the fan base as well. But I have to be patient because I think we're going to do something special in the coming year or years.
Back to here, as we're talking with Kevin Nagle, we're talking about the Sacramento Republic as they get going this weekend. The fan response in this community to the Republic have been amazing. The SAC Battalion is incredible. The support, the enthusiasm. I'm just curious, as you look back on everything now, did that surprise you? Has it surprised you how well this team has been received and how many fans you have?
No, I'm flattered, and it gives a great feeling, and we've always had terrific support. Even when the league, I would say we're always number 1 or number 2 across the board in every academy or every category,
Sure.
And that includes attendance. And we built the new stadium. It's even going to get larger.
Sure.
Because it's going to be a better quality product. We'll have, special seating and suites and, the whole genre of things that, people would love. But I'm not surprised. Look, the one thing, Sacramento is a great sports town.
Yes, it is.
We happen to choose, soccer, which we've got great soccer fans here as well. And so I think you put a quality product on the pitch that works hard, that tries hard. We try to be good corporate citizens. That's something that, we've also sort of demanded. And that's the great thing I'd say about our players is they love to go out in the community, whether it's helping other, local soccer teams or whether go visit, somebody in the hospital or, just do general charity work. We like that. And because of that, I think also the fans respond and supporters respond as well.
Kevin, as we get back, and I'm circling around in a lot of different areas, but if I can get back to the stadium for a moment, right now the capacity will be roughly 20,000. Is that correct? With the ability to expand later on if you need to?
Yeah, I mean, we're really in a range right now, and I mean, it depends. I mean, we can change that number as we get to a certain point, and then we can't, obviously.
Sure.
But yes, it's going to be capacity driven, meaning what is the demand? What you don't want to do is you don't have a stadium where it's not filled, even though then you might have an 80-90% stadium filled, and it sometimes looks like it's empty, as you know.
Good point.
That's the problem is, with a lot of baseball stadiums.
Sure.
But I'll say that we'll have great support. And I think that, the other, as I mentioned earlier, I think that the stadium, the size will allow for us to do a lot of other things as well, whether it's outdoor concerts, which, we can have a lot of those, in Sacramento outdoors. And I'm really excited. I think that people are going to be really happy with the outcome of the product.
It's going to be first class, right? I mean, you don't mess around. This is going to be done the right way, correct?
Well, my partners and I don't mess around, and I think that I'm really excited. We got a new president, and he's going to help us lead the way. I'm not sure that you're a fan. He's been out the last few days. He hasn't, I don't think, been on your program yet, but Tim Holt, who's been very successful in San Antonio as the president. Before that, he was actually the president of the USL. So we're getting a really experienced guy who knows a lot about sports and a lot about soccer.
Well, I'm really happy you mentioned the new president because his background is going to be invaluable to what's going on here, correct?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, he's going to help us build the stadium, which obviously we're doing right now. And he started March 1st, but he really started before that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to have Tim on board. He's going to be helpful. Love Todd. Todd, as you know, Todd Donovan, who moved on to New York, football club and took a job as a sporting director. We're going to miss him. But what's really happened is we've not missed a beat since Tim arrived.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that things go well at the bargaining table and there's no work stoppage, because I know a lot of people are really excited for Saturday. The weather forecast looks incredible. It's supposed to be a high of 75, and it's going to be a great time to go out and cheer on the Sacramento Republic. Kevin, it's great having you on, and thanks for educating everyone on what's happening here in Sacramento with the rail yards and the future. And again, thank you so much for your time. Greatly appreciated.
You bet. Just one last thing, Grant. There's still a few tickets left, and we are playing Tulsa, who are the runners-up for the League Cup this year. So it's going to be a great game to come right out of the chutes. We just have to make sure that we play.
Awesome. Thanks, Kevin. Take care.
All the best.
Yep,
you
too.
Bye, Grant.
Good stuff with Kevin Nagle. Good stuff right there. Hey, DAS Mechanical, speaking of good stuff, they're donating a heating and air conditioning unit. All right? That's right. Either a heating or air conditioning unit to yourself, somebody you nominate, whether it's a friend, whether it's a veteran, whatever the case may be. That's right. DAS Mechanical donating either a heating or air conditioning unit with installation. And all you need to do is go to dasmechanical.org. That's dasmechanical.org. Click on the 2026 HVAC donation tab. And then it's very simple. You just fill out a very short form, and maybe you or someone that you nominate will win that heating or air conditioning unit with installation. DAS Mechanical, family-owned, serving Sacramento and Placer counties. For all of your HVAC needs and repairs, keep in mind dasmechanical.org and nominate someone today. Again, dasmechanical.org. Your phone calls, your text messages next here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Downtown Ford Sacramento welcomes you. With literally acres of new and Ford-certified pre-owned vehicles on site, you can start planning a road trip up into the snow now because Downtown Ford has the vehicles to get you there. And our top-notch service team will keep it running perfectly as long as you own it. Cars, trucks, SUVs, and fleet vehicles. Downtown Ford Sacramento. Open daily on Howe Avenue next to the How About Arden Shopping Center.
Are you SAC? Have you signed up to receive emergency alerts via phone, text, email, or app? Well, what are you waiting for? Winter is coming, and that means there is potential for storms and flooding in our county. Don't get caught off guard or left in the cold. Get urgent storm evacuation and shelter information immediately sent directly to your device. Sign up today at sacramento-alert.org. Again, that's sacramento-alert.org. It's free, quick, and easy to do, and can literally be a lifesaver.
Homeowners, for any electrical project you need done, trust the good dudes at Gabroods. Locally owned, 5-star service experts, always transparent prices and solutions. Say goodbye to your electrical issues. Call Gabroods or visit Gabroods.com. G-U-B-R-U-D-S.
Just outside of Sacramento is a place where families build friendships that last a lifetime. The Golden State Shooting Center is a clay target shooting facility. It's the home of numerous local high school and youth sport shooting teams. Skeet and trap shooting is a safe, exhilarating sport. School team members can compete for numerous college scholarship opportunities. Teams are being formed now, and new members are welcome. Call the Golden State Shooting Center for details or visit them online at goldenstateshootingcenter.com.
I love the exercise classes at the Senior Center, and I love eating healthy, but it can be expensive. BenefitsCheckup.org connected me to programs that help me pay for groceries. Visit BenefitsCheckup.org today.
Supported by the U.S. Administration for Community Living.
Don't forget, Saturday, beginning at 11 in the morning, we're going to be out at the Capitol Mall for the Capitol Beer Fest, brought to you by Elk Grove Chevrolet. Rhino will be there. I'll be there. Everyone with our station will be down there. Look for the Fox Sports Sacramento tent. And it's going to be great. Cigars, the beer's there. It's going to be a good afternoon. Looking forward to it, Rhino. Looking forward to it.
I hope it's not humid.
Oh, my gosh. Would you stop it? It's good for the cigars if it's humid.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Humidor makes sense.
Exactly.
Yep.
Keeps them fresh.
All right.
All right. So you're going to be okay. If it's like last Saturday, then you may not be able to make it. You may have to stay at home.
Or I'll bring a little bubble, a mister.
No, but you're gonna need a bubble. You're gonna need an ambulance because I'm gonna hit you over the head and knock you out.
I still can't believe that guy whacked you over
Did
the
you
head
Google?
with his
Look
stick.
at a defenseman in lacrosse, and look at the size of the lacrosse stick, and that he wound up and hit me right on the head. Yeah, and I'm like 18. Well, I was 18 at the time. Al Martin, big crease defenseman, senior, and yeah.
Holy moly!
I know, man. I know.
Which part of the stick did he get you with the net part?
Yeah, the yes.
Okay. All right.
Still though, back then the material was different. It was a very hard plastic, very, very hard.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, it was not fun.
not inviting.
Yeah, I literally almost passed out. I almost collapsed.
You're lucky it wasn't worse than a concussion. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I was seeing stars.
Because if you fall, I mean, you're 6'2". Fall hits your head because you're knocked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Not
got you.
good.
All right. If you want to call the show, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. I honestly believe that my generation that played contact sports, especially, I think, football and the way it was taught back then, I would think that almost every kid, and I say kids, whether it was youth football, middle school, or high school football,
yeah,
had multiple concussions just because of the drills we used to do. And the drills that we used to do were heavy contact, and it was like the macho prove that you're a man type of a drill, right?
Yeah.
It was that mentality. And if you wanted to start and you wanted to play, you had to prove that you were tough. And in order to prove that you were tough, especially as a defensive player, which I was, those drills where they put the cones down and you had to shield your blocker as a running back was coming at you.
Yep.
And do that over and over again. There were many times I was like, I got my bell rung on that.
At the first, and I can't speak to your generation, but I can speak to mine. The first couple weeks of football practice, which were also considered quote unquote tryouts, right?
Yep.
And then leading into the start of the season, the first hour of practice was always hitting drills.
Yeah.
And you would hit until somebody was physically sick.
Yep.
And to your point, one person in some of those drills would just be a sitting duck.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing.
Standing.
One of those people in those drills would be a sitting duck. That's exactly right.
And
which doesn't happen anymore.
No,
that football technique does not happen anymore.
No, it does not. No, it does not. Grant, they gave us stickers to put on our helmets that said snot bubble.
Yeah.
Like it was
I got
encouraged.
I got you.
Yep.
I reflect back on what it was like. And again, the helmets weren't the same then as they are now. And the techniques that are the drills that we used to do back then, you would never see on a football field anywhere. The coaches would be fired.
Yeah. No, you know what is actually, and my affinity for this movie? Go watch the 4 to 5 minute segment of Rudy trying out for Notre Dame.
Yep.
And that'll give you an idea of some of these drills that we're talking about. And even some for us that were worse. I mean, literally, you were the runner and you had to stay on this straight line. And you just were getting
plastered. Well, here's the other thing with those drills. You had a lot of physics involved because you had smaller players that shouldn't be in that drill.
That's right.
With bigger players.
Spot on.
And that was another aspect of that because you lined up in this line over here, that line over there.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't like, well, you're going to go against someone your own side. No, whoever was paired up with you in the opposite line, that's who you're going up against.
And it was, as a smaller guy, you wanted to go against the bigger guy.
Yes.
Because that's how you made your impact. That's how you showed your power.
That's right. Yep. I'm telling you, that era of football back then and what we went through and how football is taught today is really, I'm not kidding you, it's night and day.
Night and day. And you brought up the helmets, the technology is night and day with the equipment. I mean, they've had, and I think towards the tail end of my football days, they started coming out with the mouthpieces that could prevent concussions or help with that.
Yes.
But now it's just on a different level. I'll never forget, I'll transition this to basketball. We lost at LMU. And it was right around Christmas. It was right before we were about to get dismissed for a day or two. And the reason we lost, or the last play, one of our biggest players from Africa, Muhammad Kamara, he had an opportunity to take a charge, 7-footer. And he had a condition going on with his tailbone and that side of his body. And so he didn't take the charge. So the next day, instead of being dismissed that night from LMU, we were back at Viejas, and Steve, or Coach Fisher, lined up everybody, just as you said, no attention to size, and put one person at half court and the other smack in the middle of the key. And it was taking charges.
Oh, boy.
And
wow,
you want to talk about physicality.
Yep.
No football pads there.
No, boy. Wow. The sport that has always blown me away is rugby.
Yes.
I do not understand how players at the end of a rugby match can walk off the field.
Oh, my gosh.
And not be carried off on a stretcher.
Did you see this new sport that just got started?
No.
Okay, it's basically what you're saying. It is a massive, it's two huge guys running as fast as they can and running into each other.
And the purpose of that is what?
To knock somebody out. I think one of them's carrying a ball. I'm going to send it to you really
Well, I've
quick.
seen the slapping, two guys that slap each
wait
other.
till you see this.
Yeah, okay, send it to me. But I've never understood that sport. The slapping across, I mean, like, what is the purpose of that sport?
It's just it's a gimmick of MMA, right? It's trying to dissect different things that could happen in a fight.
I guess.
In highlighting them.
That's unbelievable to me, Ryan. Yeah.
Wait till you see this. You are going to gasp, especially because it's 2026.
Yeah. All right. Again, 916-779-0929. That's 916-779-0929. You had to get your bell rung. Spot on, says Grant. Yep, absolutely. In high school football. No doubt about it. It is totally different now. Totally different now. No doubt. Totally different. I'm sorry I didn't see your question until now about are they going to build some sort of shade for the new stadium. I would say they'll probably do the best they can with that. It's a very good question. It's a fair question. So I'll try to find out and get some information for you on that. All right? I'll try to find out. All right, Ryan, I'm going to open this up while I'm on the air and look at this.
Yeah, do play-by-play of this.
Well, let me see it first because I don't even know what I'm looking at. All right. So with a full oh, my God. Why?
Right?
Are you okay, is this a league?
This is a league.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
Where's that at? Oh, my gosh. Are you sure that's not AI or anything?
I am 100% sure. It's called Run Nation.
Come on. Dudes literally sprint full speed straight into each other like human missiles.
Human missiles.
Are you sure that's real? Come on. I find that hard to believe.
100% real, Grant. Run Nation. I'll send you another one.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
That's like the hitting drills back in the day.
With pads on.
With pads on.
Yeah. Yeah, we did full head-on collisions like that, but we had pads on. But even with pads on, oh, my goodness gracious. I would think you could die doing, I mean,
yes.
You could literally, well, I don't even know what to say. I'm not normally like at a loss for words. After what you just showed me, wow. Somebody wants to know my prediction on the Kings tonight. Well, that's funny you say that because in our final segment, that's what we're going to talk about. If you are on your way to Golden One Center, good luck. Have fun. Enjoy it. And we will talk about it.
If you're not on your way, you could be $28 lower level seats available.
Is that right?
Yeah.
$28.
$28.
Lower level.
Lower level.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, if you're going to spend the $15 to go in the upper deck, shell out the extra $13.
Yeah. Get a little closer.
Yeah. And then just move down.
Yeah.
Just move down.
They frown upon that, you know.
Well,
just do it and don't get caught.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what?
If I had $1 for every time I did that growing up or being at, I'd have a nice retirement fund.
Right. There's I forget which athlete's launching it, Grant, but they've launched an app, and I don't believe all the teams are participating in it yet. But if you're a season ticket holder and say you're leaving, you have really premium seats, and third quarter, I'm just done, you can sell your ticket for the quarter to somebody that's already in the building to be able to come down into that seat.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So we will come back. We will talk about the Kings and the Pelicans in our final segment. That's coming up next, right here on Fox Sports Sacramento.
Listen up, guys. Are you experiencing any of the following? Fatigue, less drive, poor performance? If so, you may be one of the nearly 30 million men in the U.S. today dealing with ED. But did you know you don't have to pay hundreds for a prescription anymore? And you don't have to deal with the hassle of seeing the doctor or the embarrassment of going to the pharmacy for a certain pill. Now, with one free call, you can find out how Herbal Virility Max can help you feel like a man again. For over a decade, Herbal Virility Max has helped guys just like you put a smile back on their face with improved performance and drive. Call today and ask about our buy one, get one free offer.
800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. 800-690-8445. That's 800-690-8445.
We all want to look and feel our best. Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to live your best life every day. There are simple, practical, and inexpensive changes that you can make in your life today that will elevate your life in so many incredible ways. If it feels like it's time to hit that reset button and start living your best life now, Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center invites you to schedule a free healthy aging consultation with Dr. Dennis Godby, an accomplished author and expert in the art of aging gracefully. As we age, things change. We might start to experience lower energy, changes in mood, brain fog, or just a lack of motivation. And for guys, the onset of middle age can mean a lower libido and oftentimes ED. These things can usually be safely and easily treated. Visit gettingbetternow.com today and schedule your free healthy aging consultation with Sacramento Naturopathic Medical Center, located in Midtown.
If you've been waiting to buy a home, then you must be prepared to act soon for what's about to happen in the real estate market. The expected Fed rate cuts will renew the housing market demand. Buyers, like you, will flood the market. Bidding wars will happen, homes will sell quickly. You need to get your ducks in a row, and the best way to start is with an experienced broker to represent you. Village Financial's Spencer Grimmenstein is that broker. Spencer's white glove service, boutique experience, one-stop shop method makes it so easy. Spencer will navigate you through the process from start to finish. He has extensive home listings to choose from throughout Northern California. His 30-year mortgage brokering experience will get you the best rates. He also has access to private money to help you expedite getting your offer accepted and closed. And don't forget that it makes sense to call Spence. Call now to schedule a free home buying consultation. 916-805-4868. 916-805-4868, or visit Spencer's Village Financial website at bfgloans.com.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. Yikes! So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Final segment on this Thursday. All right, I want to get to bold predictions here before we talk about tonight's game, because this has something to do with this season. Keegan Murray will not play another game this season. Yes or no?
Yes.
I agree. Russell Westbrook, when we hit the month of April, will still be playing and starting for the Sacramento Kings.
Playing, but not starting.
He will be playing but not starting?
Correct.
Who will start?
Devin Carter.
Okay.
Or Malik Monk.
Okay. But Murray won't play this year. You agree?
I agree.
There's no reason for him to play. Get healthy. That ankle's been a problem. At this point, just don't worry about it.
What's your take on Westbrook?
I know how much he loves to play.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much he loves to compete. I'll say that he doesn't play in the month of April.
Okay.
I'm going to say he'll shut it down and not play in the month of April.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, because if he's going to play, he's going to start. He started up until this point. You might be right. I'm going to lean towards what you're saying. I'm going to withdraw my bold.
That's all right. You
take.
are allowed to change your bold prediction of the day. All right, let's get to the game tonight. Here's the latest. Zion Williamson is still questionable.
Yes.
All right. So are the Kings going to win this game tonight?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Tell me why they're not going to win this game tonight.
I think they're going to have a really hard time containing penetration, as they have a lot of times this season.
Yep.
New Orleans, I think Sadiq Bey Trey Murphy, if he plays, I know you said looks like he's going to play. He's
Looks
listed
like
as
that.
questionable still. He'll knock down some threes. I just think the ball's going to move around too much for the Kings. I think it'll be kind of a carbon copy of what we've seen, a game of runs. But the only thing that changes that, Grant, is if Zion Williamson plays.
Yeah.
If Zion Williamson plays, the Kings are going to have a really hard time.
If he
matching up
plays,
with
they're
him.
not going to win.
No.
Right. And at this point, it really doesn't matter. So hopefully it's a competitive game. That's what I think fans want right now. They want to see Max play well. They want to see Nick play well. See how Nick, that 3-point shot of Nick Clifford does not look good. He's going to really, that's going to be a big offseason for him.
He has been working extensively on it throughout the season. I mean, every single practice, and I get it's normal for guys to get up extra shots. I'm telling you, Nick is getting up extra shots.
Good for him.
He's a little short, but to me, the biggest thing, we talked about this with Jerry, is there's a slight hesitation with him. If you look when he's knocking down his threes, there's not a second thought. He gets it, and usually the first one goes in. But
what do you think of his technique?
I don't have a problem with his technique, actually. I think it's more mental, and it's just that little bit of hesitation because he's not sure whether to drive or whether to shoot it.
All right, let me ask you this question. With what, less than 20 games left now, or is that where we're at? What would you say if you were going to just talk about this right now as we're sitting here on the 5th of March? What letter grade would you give him right now for this season?
Ooh. I would give him a C. Not going to give him a C minus. I can't give him a B because of the inconsistency, but he definitely gets a C because of the way he's played defense and also court vision, which we've talked about, but the fact that he's not afraid to step down from a challenge. He doesn't care if it's a star in the league. He's attacked the rim aggressively, something that some rookies will not do, especially at his size. So it's a C for me. Where are you grading him at?
I'm giving him a C minus.
Why the minus?
Just wildly inconsistent. I'm looking at the poor 3-point shooting at 31%. I'm looking at the total production of just a little over 7 points a game. I'm looking at turnovers, and I'm looking at, based on how he looked in the summer and in training camp, I was expecting more of him. So, all right, if you figure a C minus is what, like a 70 out of 100?
71, yeah.
All right.
70.
I'm probably going to give him a 73 out of 100, close to a 74. So between a C minus and a C.
So what's interesting about him for me is his grade can still drastically swing because
I agree.
Into my grade, I am working in the curve.
I agree with that.
His minutes for the first half of the season were so wildly inconsistent.
They were
with
fair.
Different combinations.
I think that's fair.
We've both asked for a sample size of 25, 30 games of Neek getting plenty of runway, and we are right in the midst of that right now.
And the other aspect, while I'm giving him a C minus, he's only shooting 40% overall on the year.
Yeah.
And he's played 23 minutes. And here's the other deal. His free throw shooting's not good. That's not acceptable at 72%.
No.
For a guard. So that's why I'm giving him a C minus.
That's fair. It's a great point about the free throw shooting.
He's got to be better than that, Ryan.
Yeah, has
There's
to.
no reason why he can't be in the high 70s to 80%.
Yeah.
He's got to be. There's no excuse for it.
I don't think his free throw attempts are super high off the top of my head.
Let me look it up.
He doesn't usually get a great whistle.
But you know what?
It's
Whistle
gotta be
or not?
better.
Yeah, I understand. Whistle or no whistle, he needs to make them, right?
100%. Yes. At his position, with the way he plays his game, with that floater attacking the rim, the threes and the free throws make all the difference for a guy like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the number of attempts. All I know is he's shooting 72% on this one. But you just made a really good point. This could really change a lot here as we sit here on March 5th when we're reviewing everything, going back to the middle of April, we could have a whole different opinion on this.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
That's why these games are very, very important for him. These really are important games heading into the offseason.
It changes, at least for me, and I hope some Kings fans will adopt this. The way I watch a Kings game is not watching for a win. I'm watching for progression and growth for the guys that we know will be part of this team next year and the year after.
Yep.
And if you are seeing that, as in Max's case, that's a small win going forward.
Well, tonight, Kings and Pelicans. So you're picking New Orleans to win the game. Is that right, sir?
I am, yes. I'm sorry, Kings fans. I've got the Pels here. So the Kings traditionally, even with their players healthy, do not match up well with this team.
No, they never have, right?
No.
I shouldn't say never, but.
Check this out, Grant. Looking at Grant's Cameo page. Grant, I'm going to order a video.
Oh, good.
Amazing that you can ask for advice. That's
Yes.
Athena.
Yes.
How about that?
I'm happy to do a cameo video. Hit me up, and I will take care of it for you. I got all 5-star reviews on there, and I do appreciate the people that are nice enough after I do a cameo to review me.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
I try. You know what? Someone's going to pay me to do something. I'm going to make sure I do it well for them. I'm not going to go half ass on that. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make them happy.
Yeah, not everybody on Cameo is like that.
Oh,
so
I
good
am.
job
Like,
by
it's
you.
important to me. I want to make sure that, like, the person that's receiving it's like, wow, I want to make it special.
I love that. Love it.
Yeah. I don't charge a lot. I charge not much at all.
Yeah.
So someone's going to hit me up on Cameo, huh?
Yep.
Good.
So which way are you going, by the way? You got the Kings tonight?
No, of course not.
No. Okay.
No. How many shots is Westbrook going to take tonight?
You know, after last game, I noticed a couple of things that were positive.
Yeah.
He made the extra pass, and then he got it back, even though it ended up in a Westbrook shot. I hope the mindset is changing. I'm going to say he'll be under 12.
No, it's going to be more than 12. I'm going over. You got the over-under at 12?
I've got it.
No,
at
I'm
12.
going over.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under.
No, I'm going over. Definitely. Hey, a Village Financial Group, buying a home in 2026, selling a home. Spencer Grimmenstein, Village Financial Group. I love talking about him for a variety of reasons. Number one, I've known him for a long time, and I can vouch for him. Number two, he's really, really good at what he does. He's extremely experienced with 30 years in the mortgage brokerage business, and he is a financing specialist, and that means access to private money. That's right. He has access to private money, which will expedite the process. That's what it's all about at Village Financial Group, kind of like a white glove service, a boutique shop, so to speak, from start to finish. He is awesome. Give him a call or text him at 916-805-4868. That's 916-805-4868. And check out thousands of available properties online at VFGloans.com. It makes sense to call Spence at 916-805-4868. Village Financial Group, looking out for their best interest. So I want to get back to what I was talking about last night. When I left, I'm like, those Vegas Golden Knights better win. All right? They better win, or George may never talk to me again. So I texted him this morning, right?
Yeah.
And I said to him, I go, I really needed that win because I figured you would never talk to me again. And I said, that could be the biggest 25. I said, I think that's the biggest 25 minutes of hockey your team's played this year. Or I said the most important. And he agreed with me. And then I said, you think part of that's an Olympic hangover? And he said, yes. Their best player, Jack Eichel, finally got his legs and got his game going last night. And he's their best player. And he played on the USA gold medal team. So, yes, I do think that they had 9 players playing on the Olympic teams around. And Ryan, 5 of those players played in the gold medal game.
And if your players are playing on the Olympic team, that means they're playing big minutes on your team.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So it's going to be fun. And the Sharks with Macklin Celebrini, they're trying to get in as a wild card. That would be so fun to see the Sharks in the playoffs. That would be great. It would be great.
They've just never gotten there, right?
They can't get over the hump. They can't make it to the finals. They've had when they had Arthur Zerbe in goal, and they had a very potent lineup. with Joe Thornton on the back end, and they had really good teams. They were very good teams, dynamic teams, and they just couldn't get over the hurdle. They couldn't get over the hump.
How is the fan base? I've never been to an NHL game. How's the fan base in San Jose?
Very loyal, very good,
Okay.
but it's limited. There's not a lot. In other words, the fans that are there go to the games, and but there's not a lot.
Okay. Got to make that happen.
I'm telling you, it's a great place to go watch a game. I like the environment. I love going to the Shark Tank. I always have.
The Tank.
I announced,
I said the Tank.
Yeah, I used to practice my hockey play-by-play there. And that's how I got the job filling in for Randy Hahn when he left for some games in the mid-'90s to be with his wife. And it was a big thrill. The first NHL game I ever did was in that building with the Sharks and the Vancouver Canucks with the Russian Rocket, Pavel Bure, number 10 for Vancouver. And my analyst was the former New York Ranger that I grew up cheering for, Pete Stemkowski, number 27 of the Rangers.
It's insane. Was that like the most nervous you've been?
No, Stemmer was cool. I wasn't nervous about doing hockey because I thought I was in my element. I'm like, I could do this.
Yeah.
So hockey, I was very comfortable, actually. I wasn't nervous because I was prepared to do it. And I really believed in my heart I was going to do a really good job. So I really wasn't that nervous, believe it or not. I actually felt like my adrenaline was going. I was super excited driving to the game. I was prepared. I felt extremely comfortable because Vancouver had just been in the Cup the year before, and George was the right-hand man for Pat Quinn, and I knew all the players on Vancouver. Actually, to be honest with you, I think I knew the Vancouver team better than the Sharks team. And so
Ironic.
So it really wasn't that. You know what? Everything happens for a reason. And the fact that my first game was against a team that I knew inside out, and of course I knew about the Sharks. It's not sure. It made it a lot easier for me.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
Yeah, but I remember they had, hey, listen, Trevor Linden, number 12, Pavel Bure, the Russian Rocket, number 10, Dana Merzen, number 5. They had so many other players on there that I was like, wow, I know that player. I know him. You know, like it was not that hard for me.
I hope you have a copy of that.
I don't.
Really?
No, I don't.
Somebody out there has to have a copy of that.
Yeah.
Hit us up.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would have a copy of that. It's 1995. You know?
That's prime time to have a copy. That's when you're videotaping stuff. I was taping stuff back in 95.
Well, I actually had some of those on what they call a 3/4 inch tape that we used in TV, but with all the moving around I've done, I couldn't take it everywhere. So I don't have it. But I'll tell you, it was a big thrill for me. That was one of the biggest thrills in my career, was doing the National Hockey League. And then I did a game at the Great Western Forum with Wayne Gretzky on the Kings and Yuri Curry, and that was a great thrill for me. Being at the Forum in Inglewood doing the LA Kings with Wayne Gretzky playing, that's pretty amazing.
All right. Well, we don't have enough time, but I want to hear how you got that gig to do it with Gretzky.
I'll be happy. We'll go over.
Yeah.
You remind me tomorrow. I don't have enough time now. You remind me tomorrow, and I will tell you. Hey, I'll remind you to join us Saturday down at the Capitol Beer Fest, brought to you by Elk Grove Chevrolet. I'll be there. Rhino will be there. Everybody at our station will be there. Check out our area. You'll just look for the Fox Sports Sacramento tent at the Capitol Mall from 11 to 3. Come on down and see us. It is going to be a lot of fun at the Capitol Mall, downtown Sacramento. YouTube tonight after the Kings and the Pelicans. I'll be a game time decision for that, but Rhino will 100% be there with Jerry Reynolds. I will try to be there, but I have a commitment tonight that I have to handle, and so I don't know if I'm going to be in time or not for the thriller between those Sacramento Kings and the Pelicans from New Orleans.
Man, you're missing out.
I know I'm missing out. I know.
Do you want me to DVR it for you?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, don't DVR it for me. Do you still DVR?
No. I'm sure people do. I do not.
Hey, my thanks today to those of you that invested part of your day in my day. Appreciate you. My thanks to Kevin Nagle talking about the Sacramento Republic and Huddersfield and what it's like in that neck of the woods in the world when it comes to crazy soccer fans. That was interesting. Let's talk to you tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Guess what? We're going to be right back here. Post-game show tonight, UTBNX, Kings and Pelicans. For Rhino and Sacktown. This is Grant Napear saying so long, everybody, and thanks for listening to Fox Sports Sacramento. Bye-bye.
Call the good dudes at your broods. GUBRUDS.
Homeowners, if you have an electric